Job to help law enforcement.
A fucking terrorist.
It was our job to help law enforcement.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Job to help law enforcement. It was our job to help law enforcement.
Oh my God!
It was our job to help law enforcement.
Prof is a fucking terrorist.
It was our job to help law enforcement. It was our job to help law enforcement.
Prof is a fucking terrorist.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
It was our job to help law enforcement.
Prof is a fucking terrorist. A fucking pedophile, sympathizing fucking terrorist. Prof is a fucking terrorist.
It was our job to help law enforcement.
Oh my God.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
It was our job to help law enforcement.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
It was our job to help law enforcement.
Prof is a fucking terrorist.
Fuck you.
It was our job to help law enforcement. It was our job to help law enforcement.
All right. Check, 1, 2. All right, welcome in, everyone. Welcome into the Friday night show here on the Prof channel. Special shout out to all my longtime subscribers. I'm so glad to see you here. I so appreciate you being here. Everyone new to the channel, realize this is a group effort. It's not just the Prof channel, it's the Prof's Cruise channel. So this is a great channel. It's a great live chat, and we welcome all newcomers on in to join that live chat. This is their channel, and I'm just at the helm here running the stream. So please do respect everyone in the live chat. Feel free to join the live chat. Have a great time. Introduce yourself if you're new and coming in. If you're on the replay, go ahead and do me a favor and smack that like button and go ahead and join the comment section. Let people know what you've thought about the various things you're going to hear tonight and the chat that you're reading. Okay? So we appreciate everyone being here and hope everyone had a great week. Great thing is it's the weekend, so we're really happy to be able to have a couple days off and relax this weekend. I would say chillax this weekend. Hopefully it'll be a great weekend. And wow, what else do I have to say? The markets are down. The markets are down a little bit today, so it's kind of a bummer past 48 hours. But I'm sure everything will bounce back up. And so we'll see our savings go on back up where they need to be and even higher. So glad to see that and hope for that. And I'm just so glad to see everyone here. And so we'll be going through some things tonight, but as you come in, go ahead and hit the like button, and we will be talking about some things, okay? Tonight's show is called DELPHI, The Devil Knows, and we'll be talking about why I'm calling it that in a moment. I'm going to take a moment here and try to pin a couple things for you that I neglected to do on the way in. So give me a moment. I want to pin in the chat my link tree for a special reason, because this link tree is the way that all newcomers and even our longtime chatters can find all the contact information for the channel. So whether you are interested in sending me an email, visiting the Twitch channel where we have Thursday night shows, contributing to my GoFundMe, which is an ongoing fundraiser. I've been trying to reach a goal and not quite there. Send a donation through the Cash App and Buy Me a Coffee, or anything you'd like to do, you can probably find it there in the link tree. So I'm going to pin that, and you'll be able to find it the entire time. And before we get into tonight's program, I want to welcome everyone who's here already, okay? Because I like to do that. And sometimes people complain, but hey, if you're on the replay, you're able to skip it pretty easily. So don't be a whiner. If you're on the replay and you don't want to hear me say hello to my chatters, then just skip ahead about 5 minutes and you'll be fine. Okay. Um, so let me say hello to everyone, and I'll tell you what I had to do today, and then we'll get into the program. Okay. So first here tonight was Court of Public Opinion. Welcome in, Court of Public Opinion. Court of Public Opinion is a great person in Indiana who keeps his finger on the pulse of all the shenanigans going down in there. So please do respect Court of Public Opinion. Give him your regards, and be nice. Sweet Dude Shibby's here. Sweet Dude Shibby is one of my main mods, so please do respect his word. If you get out of line, he will smack you with that wrench. So please do respect Sweet Dude Shibby. Also, Daisy Ask is here, and I want to thank her for being here. She's an amazing lady named Amy. So I want to thank Amy for being here, and welcome in, Amy. All right, who else we got in here tonight? Critter Mama. Hello, Critter Mama. Dieter. Hey, Dieter. Kit Kat. What's up, Kit Kat? Don McKenzie. Hey, long time no see. Welcome back in. Miss Deb's here. Carla Ann. Anna Paula Baxter. 4 pit bulls across America. Another good friend of mine. I love him. His name's Josh. Please be nice to 4 pit bulls across America. And go subscribe to his channel if you like funny shorts, okay? He keeps pumping them out. He had just dropped a great one. Carla Ann, welcome to you. I want to say hi, and I love the heart, so I'm putting it up there. Lisa. Andre. Hello, Andre. Thanks for being here. Jessica Freeman, good to see you. Thanks for coming into the chat, Jessica. Miss Pie Crust. Okay. Brenda Mays. Hello, Brenda. All right. Who else is in here? Polygraph 9977. Welcome in. Heavy Metal Rehab. Hey, Heavy Metal. Oh, hey, Christina. Good to see you. Old Mort, New Mort. Another good friend of mine. Hello, Old Mort, New Mort. Okay. Shaza Sheehan. Good to see you. Thanks for being here tonight. Oleg Cat. What's up, Oleg? All right. What else we got in here? Nicole Watt. What's up, Nicole? Marie Kelly. Hey, Marie. Good to see you. Kay is here. What's up, Kay? Trash Magics. What's up, Trash Magics? Always got good comments in the comment sections. Moonbeam 70s Child. Welcome. All right. Who else we got in here? Critter Mama. I don't know if I said hi yet, but hi to you. Ricardo 2, what's up? Rebecca N, 1965, what's up? Let's see. Granny D's in the house acting crazy. What's up, Granny D? All right. What else we got here? I don't want to miss anyone. All right. JR Nanabooma. What's up, JR Nanabooma? There you go. Good to see you. Pie Crust bringing the pies. A woman after my own heart, Miss Pie Crust, I tell you. Nancy Drew 101. What's up, Sleuther? Okay, Nancy Drew 101 in here. And so I think we got everyone, okay? Oh, love and light for all. Who is this? I don't know why I'm seeing it this way, but this is what I see. Okay. All right, so good to see everybody. And I'm sure many more are watching who are too shy to join the chat. But that's fine. Lurkers are welcome, and haters are naturally going to be here. So we want to say hi to everybody. Now, well, before I get into that, wow, today I had such a great day. Okay. Monkey Lady, hello to you. Trial Junkie, hello to you. Today was really, really a long day for me because I had some, hmm, how would I like to put it? Uh, Secretarial tasks or whatever. You know, going to several banking institutions, postal institutions, police, uh, grocery, um, coin shop, just all kind of business I had to take care of today. So I am absolutely exhausted from all the running around. So there's that. You know, so that was my day today. Is basically, I don't know. I guess you'd call it errand running, but it's like I said, more business, secretarial tasks, doing all kind of paperwork and doing things I needed to do. So that was my day, and geez, I'm glad it's Saturday tomorrow because I will not be doing any of that. But I'm glad to see everyone. Now, on to business. Tonight's show, The Devil Knows. Why? Because I'm calling Kagan Klein the devil. Okay, but it's also sort of a pun because I also mean the devil knows in this Delphi. Because no matter what people say, I believe that the Anthony Shots slash Dropbox concept is the fundamental aspect of Delphi. Okay. And that's what I am focusing on as of late. And the devil, beings that I do believe that this involves a sacrificial element to pour blood into the ground at Delphi, Indiana, as an offering for success, as if sacrificing your own children would be a righteous gift to the world for the benefit of a community. But clearly, we can look at this and see that this entire community has benefited significantly from the shedding of blood. Okay. And I've said the last show that I made that for those of you coming into Delphi wondering what I think, I want you to know what I think. Okay. And what I think is that those girls were absolutely lured out there by someone hiding behind the Anthony Shots account for the purpose of what they endured eventually, which was a sexual ritual, bloodletting ritual, sacrificial ritual, orgy type of environment. And I believe it was filmed and celebrated, and still to this day is probably celebrated. And it's absolutely horrible. And it causes me to wonder, why would a community cover this up? This is a blight on the community. It's not a a light on the community. And every time I turn around and look, I see these individuals at the center of this crime, laughing, smiling, uh, collecting money, doing everything but grieving. And of course, the haters will say, "Oh, everybody grieves in different ways. You can't judge victims." Well, you know, the victims who I don't judge are the two young victims who were taken away from the world in the prime of their lives. And the victims, quote unquote, who I do judge are all those who seem to profit off of this in so many ways and seem to celebrate it, which is oddly bizarre, but it is what we see. And and we've shined so much light on every aspect of this case, in every corner, from the absolute insanity of the behavior of the inner circle, the behavior of the superintendent of the state police, and all of the others, and just what we've seen. It's just been the ugliest thing in the world, and everyone being so weird. And you know, when you see weirdness around kids, you have to call it out. You have to be able to acknowledge and just not deny the reality that you are seeing people smiling while collecting millions of dollars into this community, and all the time having the time of their lives and being the center of attention behind the murders of two little girls. And it just is absolutely senseless. And in addition to that, for those who are new here or to this community, there's also a plague of hate, evil, corruption, and trolling that follows this case. Like a dark cloud over this case, like a bad smell that follows someone around. It's absolutely horrible. This case it's got a cloud of darkness over it in so many ways, and you will see that exhibited on the internet. So aside from the bizarre behavior of all the law enforcement and state actors in the various press conferences and whatnot, you'll see it in the postings all over Facebook, Reddit, YouTube, and Twitter, and all of the hate and absolute insanity and chaos that follows this. But let's be honest, we're dealing with chaos magic, sex magic, black magic. Okay, it's a horrible scenario. So it makes sense that an evil cloud will follow over this. So this is why I say the devil knows. And in this case tonight, I am focusing on Kagan Klein. Okay, another devil in this case, and there'll be more coming about him and others who have been implicated in this case over the years. In the last show, I reiterated how immediately following the release of this Frank's memorandum, which hypothesized or theorized a sacrificial element to this crime by a group of people, absolute insanity broke out in this community and in the courtroom, because not only did this community turn inside out after the release of that 136-page Frank's memorandum, the state decided within a week to cast a blanket of darkness over this case and not allow any sort of transparency in this case. And it's absolutely insane. And I think that the unintended effect of that is that more people are interested than ever. Okay, so it's sort of been a good thing in retrospect. Has sort of rebounded on the state in a negative way. Okay, and there's been a lot, because remember I said that this was pouring of the blood into the ground at Delphi, and I believe that's literal, but there's also been other sacrifices. Remember that that after this Frank's memorandum was released, we had the death of an individual named Robert Fortson, okay, almost immediately. In essence, another sacrifice, I believe intended to bless this trial, okay, for a successful conviction. And there have been others. There have been others. It seems almost as if every couple years there's another death or two ever since this all first happened. And so it's absolutely devastating. How often do you need to feed the beast? It's just absolutely unacceptable. But it's been what we've been experiencing, okay? Now, I wanted to say something else, and I made the mistake of looking at the chat, and now I'm distracted, so lost my train of thought. But what did I want to say before I moved on? Oh, I do remember. I wanted to talk about this blanket of darkness or lack of transparency, whatever we say. It was revealed to me today that the court is refusing to release these exhibits centering around the video from the phone of Liberty German. We'll be having more on that later, but some months ago, approximately 6 months ago, a group of individuals released a video. They claim to be the original video that we believe were planted on this victim's phone, okay? But that the state claims is legitimately taken by the victim. And this group of individuals released this video claiming it to be original, despite it appearing to be a complete fabrication. The color profile in the video, the stabilization of the video, the sounds in the video, the overall saturation or whatever, the look of the video is just totally throwing up red flags, makes it appear to not be authentic. So we've been attempting to obtain the excerpts from this alleged video that were used in trial, which all the witnesses who attended trial described differently than this video that was released by this group of individuals. And oddly enough, today we got an answer that was, those are not released publicly. They are confidential. And that's absolutely unacceptable, because what is it about those exhibits that would deem them confidential and not for public release? The only thing that was sealed in terms of these exhibits were crime scene photos and autopsy photos. So why is it that this video or these excerpts from these alleged authentic excerpts from this video, why are they being referred to as confidential by the court? And why is the court refusing it to release them to us? And you may remember my conspiracy theory was that the court never intended to give us the real deal, that the whole intention of the leaking of this material back on March 12th of this year was to satisfy the public's thirst or desire for this video. In order to satisfy the public's thirst and justify giving a fabricated video, they released it through citizens and not officially through the court. So it's quite a conundrum. But as I'm referencing, it goes back and touches upon the entire lack of transparency in this, okay? The cloud of darkness that I was describing. a further attempt to obfuscate the reality and the truth of this. And the community is all about it. And this is why I've said many times, what kind of community covers up the murders of its own daughters? It's absolutely unacceptable. But I guess it would make sense if it's a community that sacrificed its own daughters for the benefit of its self, so anyhow, what we're going to be getting into tonight is something that I'm sure many of you have heard before and seen before, but I often like to do this, which is go through it meticulously, giving my own observations along the way, maybe to stimulate some sort of critical thought and novel ways of looking at this material, okay? So that we don't forget it, we don't let it go, and we don't have a sort of tunnel vision that allows us to not see what's in front of our faces. And so for that reason, tonight what we're going to be looking at is this Kegan-Kline, Anthony Shots, Dropbox connection, okay? The devil. So, allow me to bring this up. You can see here, this is called the videotaped statement of Kegan A. Kline on August 19th, 2020. Produced by court reporter Lynn Weil Maynard, Miami Superior Court 2. Okay? I'd like you to notice, first of all, two things that many people might not notice, which are the two attorneys attached to this cover page. Okay? It's very important. This is very, 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 very important that you take note of the attorneys who handled this. Remember, I'm saying this is a cover-up. Cover-up of epic proportions. Therefore, it's extremely important to take clear note of the attorneys involved in this, because all attorneys of the state, whether they be defense attorneys or prosecutors, are state actors, okay? The attorneys in this case are Andrew Akey and Jeff Sinkovich, two names that you need emblazoned in your memory, okay? Do not forget these names. These names tie into the Delphi case more than you might assume. And if you know this case well, you would know the names Andrew Akey and Jeff Sinkovich. Okay? So please, let's start by taking clear note of those names. And with that, we'll get started. So remember, this is a videotaped interview, and this is a transcript. So we'll be going through it. Now, first red flag here is unidentified officer, line number 1. I think that there's some work that needs to be done by my community is understanding line number 1 here. Who is the unidentified officer? Okay? Let's go. Officer enters the room. Here you go, brother. Answer, thank you. He probably says, good, isn't it? Appreciate it. Okay, I'll pull that back. I think I have it upside down. I think that's the problem. Might get you, I'll see what they say, might get you. I got another one of those. I got one like this. It might be easier, like talk out of. Yeah, as soon as they get in here, I'm gonna head out, but I appreciate you being cooperative and quiet, easygoing on the way up here. Yeah, no problem. I know you guys deal with probably all kinds of crazy people, says the crazy person. Well, there are some, but there's a lot of good people too. But I'd say you're on the list of eventful people that I've arrested. You're way down at the bottom as far as eventful. It was kind of a non issue, I mean, which is good. You want me to take that from you or you want to hold it? I can hold it. No, that's fine. I just didn't know if you were, I didn't know if you can reach the table with it, if you wanted to set it down or not. Probably have to lean forward. Tell you what, I'll go get you a mask while we're sitting here before I leave since I got it in the car. Officer leaves the room, re enters. Hey, Kagan, yeah. They said they're just going to let you talk out and take it off when you talk to them. Are you comfortable with, are you all right with that? Yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay, they said you're fine with that too. They said they're fine with that too. Yeah, I'm fine with it. Okay, I just want to make sure because I'm not going to worry about getting you a mask. Okay, I appreciate it. Let me get a key. Okay, officer leaves interview room and re enters again. All right, brother, let me get these off you. All right. That way I can put them there in my truck and I don't leave them. All right. I'll take that. Stand up. He removes the restraints. There ain't too many places these little notches left on these handcuffs. That's because he's fat. Okay. Yeah. You about need ankle handcuffs. Right. For your wrist. I need a diet. You and me both. You and me both. Just please don't take a swing at me while you're standing here. Oh no, I'm like the least most violent person, says a violent person. Grab your water. You need to use the bathroom or anything? No, I'm fine. All right, brother. If I don't see you again, um, hopefully I don't hopefully we get it all worked out. Thank you for being nice. Hey, no problem. Thanks for not being any trouble. Yeah, no problem. Have a good day. Take it easy. Unidentified officer leaves the interview room. Okay, period. Now, Detective David Vito, okay, Vito and Clinton enter the interview room. Questioning by Detective Vito. And we're going to talk about him later, but this is Vito, okay? Kagan, hey, I don't think I introduced myself. I'm Detective Vito with the Indiana State. Uh, yeah, you can if you can take that off. Are we good to take hours off? Yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure you guys are fine. Yeah, no, that's fine. Personal preference, you know. Like I said, I'm Detective Vito with the Indiana State Police. This is Deputy Clinton. Okay, so obviously you want to know what's going on today. And so we're going to help you and explain all of that. But of course, I have stuff that I have to do for my job and everything. I'm going to read you some stuff. I'm going to give you a copy so you can just read off it as well. So we're at the Peru, Indiana State Police Post. I just want to make sure you understand your rights. It's 8/19/20 and it's 3:41 in the afternoon. Again, I said my name's Detective Vito with the Indiana State Police, and these are your rights. Before I ask you any questions, you must understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent, and he's saying, and he goes through the Miranda. Okay. um, all right. Unlike Richard Allen, right? He got his. So now we'll skip ahead. Today is the 19th, 8/19/20. You know what? I'm sorry. If you can do that just one real quick for me, 8/19/20. Appreciated that. So, like I said, I'm going to try to explain my best here why we're here. I'm going to give you this copy and this arrest warrant, all right? So I have to read this whole thing for you. Please feel free to follow along. Okay. Kagan Klein, And he gives the address and he says, arrest warrant to the sheriff of Miami County of the Indiana State Police or any law enforcement officer. You are hereby commanded to arrest Kagan Klein forthwith and hold that person to bail in the amount of no bond to answer in the Miami County Circuit Court in the state of Indiana for count one. Child exploitation, level 5 felony. Count 2, possession of child pornography, level 5 felony. Count 3, possession of child pornography, a level 5 felony. Count 4, possession of child pornography, level 5. Count 5, possession of child pornography. And he goes on and on and on and on and continues. Okay. And it gets to the bottom and starts to include synthetic identity deception. Okay. Child exploitation. All right. And he says he's going to commit him to jail and without any necessary delay, bring him before the court and witness. Okay. And that's Timothy Spar, Judge, Miami Circuit Court. All right. So obviously, you know now why you're here with us. I do want to make it clear that we have watched this previous interviews when this had come up in the past. All right. You understand what's going on now. Obviously, you have a problem. Are you talking about all the stuff that was on those old phones? Is that what this is about? Those phones? Mm-hmm. So like I can't remember her name. She was like, I don't know, something with the child division. All those are old videos when I was underage. Well, I want to make it clear to you that we not only have watched her interviews, but we've personally gone through each device. We've watched the videos, we've seen the pictures, and I can tell you, you were not underage at the time. Okay. All the underage girls I talked to, I was definitely underage for any of those pictures that I got from them. And that's not with the data we have. On the metadata of those images, I mean, they're time stamped, bro. Okay. So, you know, when we get that phone, we get a lot of information off that. And obviously, I mean, it's been a little while, obviously, and a few of those charges, can I see that again? Yeah. Which one were you thinking about? It was like, I don't know. I can't remember. Sorry, my mind's going crazy like now. Like, what is like child exploitation? What is that? Like, I've never been with a child before or anything like that. Well, it's not necessarily about being with the child. But when we go to is this your kick? Okay, now guys, listen. Kick. Okay. Is this your kick chat 92? This was on your iPhone when you're trading back and forth. Child porn images. That's child exploitation. Okay, and obstruction of justice. And we're going to get to all that. But I need you to understand why we're here, obviously. And I'm just being honest with you. I mean, the underage thing, it's not correct. 3 years ago, you were not underage. You were in possession of all that as well. So I know even in your last interview, I mean, you have a problem and you said it yourself. Yeah. And I'm assuming, you know, problems. What does it say? And I'm assuming, you know, problems like that does not, you know, go away overnight or correct itself. No, you're right. I moved to Las Vegas and I tried to like completely change my life. Uh-huh. Yeah, and then, you know, I fell on hard times not having a good job and stuff. So I had to move back. But yeah, I mean, I haven't had done any of those stuff since then. That was a real wake-up call. When did you move to Vegas? I'm not sure what, it was about 2 years ago. Well, no, I got back about 3 years ago, probably. Like, I don't know, I think June maybe, right after my birthday sometime. It was like right after that. June of 2017? Yeah, yeah. Okay, about, yeah. You know, where are you currently living now? Like, where's your residence at? And he gives an address and he says, okay, so that's with your girlfriend? Well, I like to stay with her sometimes, but I mean, I just bounce around really, but I mean, she's let me stay there as much as I need to. Okay, so June 2017, moved to Vegas. Okay, that's a point to remember. June of 17. So when was February? Okay, February, March, April, May, June. So within 4 months, he got out of Dodge, ran to Vegas, had an apartment. Okay, an apartment. Deputy Clinton says, what was the address, man? What was that address? I don't know. What the hell was that address? Do you remember what street? It was on Craig Road. No, that's my dad address. I don't know. 5370 East Craig Road. Do you remember what apartment number it was? 1420. Live by yourself? No, I had a friend I moved out there with. Who was that? Dirk Hayes. He lived in Peru. Hayes? Yeah, Hayes. What'd you do for employment out there? A lot of stuff, really. A lot of stuff, really. That's not employment, bro. That's hustling. We had a little medical marijuana business that we would do delivery service with and stuff. You mean you sold dope? Okay. A lot of money in that, isn't there? Yeah, there was. A lot of elderly people, that couldn't leave their house and a lot of stuff like that. Didn't want to get around. And and stuff. What caused you to move back? I couldn't afford it. I mean, rent was so expensive and just everything in general was so expensive out there. So yeah, I could definitely see it being more expensive out there too. Yeah. And my goal today, I mean, we want to try to, of course, get you to understand everything that's going on. And I think there's some things that we need to clear up too. I mean, in your original interview, I mean, obviously you said it was a problem that you had. And so I mean, you're saying it was a pretty big wake up call. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I never really had a problem with the police ever in my life. Mm. I got arrested when I was like, I think 16, going into 16. And I mean, it was over nothing. I went to a friend's house and my mom grounded me. And then she called the police because, at the time, um, let's see, I'm going to have to move this damn thing. We'll go with this. At the time, texting, like you would send a text and it would never get to you. I mean, it's like 2012, and I text her from my friend's phone and she didn't get it and called the cops and said I ran away. So it was something like that. But other than that, well, as for the child pornography stuff, I mean, you just stopped. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, when I realized like how serious it is, you don't think about it when you're talking to a 16 or 17-year-old girls. And then you realize when that knock comes at your door, like, hey, shit's not a joke. What we can do now then, since, you haven't viewed it since then or anything like that, would you give us consent for your phone to search the phone? Okay. Do you have any computers or tablets or anything like that at your house? I have a computer in my room, but I mean, it's not really, it's real old, but I mean, yeah, I have one in there. Would you give us consent for that as well? Yeah, definitely. Okay. Any other electronic media? Maybe like you have an Xbox or something? Yeah, I have an Xbox. Yeah. Would you give us consent to search that? Yeah, definitely. Okay. What games do you play nowadays? Call of Duty. I don't even know what Call of Duty is. What are they like on 26? The new one is called Warzone. Okay. It's pretty fun. You do it online, like talk shit to kids? Yeah, all the time? Yeah. I used to play until kids started getting real good. I get so damn mad. I got to throw it across the room, right? Yeah. Talk so much shit, man. He's like 12. Yeah, he's destroying you. Yep, yep. It's ridiculous. It's the little bastards. I grew up on a Nintendo, man. Yeah. I'm looking at the controllers trying to figure out which button. And we didn't have as many buttons and stuff. Yeah. Now I feel like I'm getting older and slowing down. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. How long you been back in Indiana from Vegas? Like a year and a half, probably. Consistently the whole time, or you just bouncing around? We pretty much consistent the whole time. And what phones do you have at your house? Just an iPhone. Or at the apartment, just an iPhone? Yeah. You know what model it is? It is? It's called SE. Is that like 2 models back or something, or is that a newer one? It's like a brand new one. You have a brand new iPhone? Yeah. What color is it? Red. It has like a black case. Okay. What room is it in? That first room, like all the way in the back. No, that one's the one that's closest to the front. Where's the TV and stuff was? Yeah. Okay. All right. Is that Allie's place though? Yeah. Are you in the lease? No. You don't pay nothing? Pay rent or nothing? Okay. How do you pull that off? Well, I said she just lets me stay there really when I need to. I tried slumming at a girl's house. Man, I'd get my ass kicked out. Yeah. You said you have an Xbox? Yeah. Where's it at? It's in what kind of Xbox? Xbox One. And what color is it? Black. I know they got tons of them. Yeah. And you said a computer? Yeah. What kind of computer is it? I don't even know, honestly. That's how much I don't even use it. I don't even, it might be a gateway or no, an HP, I think. An HP? Yeah. Is it like an all in one or does it have a tower? It's just like a rectangle. I don't know. I bought it. Like the disc and everything is all in the screen. Yeah, it's all in. So it's like an all in one. Yeah. Touchscreen? No, I plug it into my TV. Okay. Well, I got it to think I could play games on it or something because it was a little cheaper. You can't even do anything on it. It's terrible. You can't even really watch Netflix or anything. Okay. It's weird because that's a streaming. Yeah. And I'm like, come on. When'd you get it? Huh? When'd you get it? 6 months ago, probably. Okay. That's weird. It was only like $150. Well, you just got that. When did you get the iPhone? Well, they came out a few months ago, probably 2 months ago. 2 months ago, yeah. And you had the Xbox for a while, for about a year and a half, probably. What color is the HP? It's black and gray. I would say it's more gray than black. And what other electronic devices do you have in the house? That's all I can think of. Her phone, that's it. What does Allie have just so we don't? The same phone, iPhone SE. Okay. What color is hers, though? Hers is white. Hers is a white one? Yeah. Is she on your plan or are you in her plan? No, she's on her own plan. And then are you on, is it just your plan with your phone or someone else? Well, technically, I'm not on a plan right now. I just have text now. Okay, so think text now and kick. Okay. You see what he's doing? He's playing catfisher. Text now and kick. No phone service. He thinks that he can be off the radar if there's no phone line, if he's just doing text now and kick. So you're using Wi-Fi for everything. Yeah. I don't really go anywhere without Wi-Fi. And what's your current phone number? Honestly, I don't know. I literally just got it. Don't know your own phone number? Yeah, I know it's a 310 number. It's a Los Angeles number. Los Angeles. So is he pretending to be a guy from Los Angeles? Is that who Anthony Schatz was pretending to be from a guy from Los Angeles? Let's continue. You spend time in LA too? Yeah, really? Oh yeah. How long? What'd you do out there? Pretty much the same thing, really. The weed business? Yep, it's booming out there. I bet. It's crazy, yeah. Okay, so now we got LA, Las Vegas, Kick, Text Now. What did you do with your old phone that you turned in? I sold it on eBay. It was just a couple months ago you said, yeah, when I got this phone. So just an iPhone, Xbox, and then that computer? Mm-hmm. And who's your guy's internet provider? AT&T. AT&T? Mm-hmm. Does she pay for that? Yeah. She pays for everything. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you here. That way we can have consent there and you can have your copy here. So we're obviously at the Peru, Indiana State Police Post, but your devices are located at this 509 South Lee Drive, Apartment F. These are your rights. And then he goes on. You have about the right for a search warrant, for a search, to refuse the warrantless search, ... And he makes him, or ask him to sign that he consents to the warrantless search for the red SE iPhone, red with black case, Xbox One, which is black, and an all-in-one HP computer, which is black and gray. I authorize to seize any of this and no pressure or coercion. And here, sign here. Okay, boom. You went from Las Vegas to Los Angeles? No, I never really stayed in LA. I would just go there a lot. Okay, yeah. And what were you doing out there, you said? I would get our product and stuff there. Okay, so I'd go there like once a week almost. Okay, so you see what he's doing? He's claiming now that he's in Las Vegas staying, but he's driving out to Los Angeles about once a week to pick the weed up. So what he's doing is he's bringing it back. So he's going to LA, pick up the weed, the hydro. All right, let's put it in common talk. He's speeding over to LA to pick up the hydro. He's speeding on back to Las Vegas to sell it to the people who don't want to leave their homes. Okay. So look how funny this one gets. He says, so what was the name of the company you worked for? Me and my friend, we started it together. Dirk? Yeah, Dirk. You need a license to start a company up or something? How did that work? Technically, it's under the law of that you don't have to get a license under this law if you're 18 and if it's gifting to someone. Busted. Yeah, you're selling weed, bro. You're not working for anyone. You're not employed, and it's not a business. But basically, him and Dirk are going to LA to pick the weed up, bring it back every week. Okay, sell it around Las Vegas. And then he gives this ghetto ass excuse. So you're not technically buying it from us or anything. I'm not selling it to you. You buy a monthly subscription and get that every month. It's like a gift, really. So that way, it doesn't need a license or anything. Oh my God, bro! People will try to explain some shit, bro. All right, all right. Okay. If you had someone pay monthly, You give it to them, and because they're paying for the monthly subscription, they're paying for the service. They're not paying for the marijuana. See, Kagan could have been a lawyer in another life if he wasn't a murderous pedophile. If he wasn't a murderous pedophile, he would have been a good lawyer. You know, a good liar. Remember Jim Carrey? Liar, liar, lawyer, liar. Kagan likes to argue the technicalities. It's a business, but you don't need a license because we're just gifting it. But of course, they have to pay every month. But technically, all right. So let me continue. All right. So after Vegas, then you said it just got too expensive out there. Where'd you go from there? I went to my mom's outside of Young America. Okay. How long do you stay in Vegas then? I mean, from that June, and that means 2017, right? Right after the murders, he ran over to Vegas. Okay. So from June of 2017, he says it was like about a year or so. The next June, which was 2018, well, like the next August or September, she got married. She got married in September. So yeah, September. Okay. Yeah, I really came back to marry them. And then I thought about it and I was like, I'll just stay here. Okay. Which means he was in Vegas from June of 2017 to September of 2018, a year and a half, about. So he says that he came back. He says, you married your own mom? Yeah, right. No kidding? Yeah. And wow, that's crazy. And so you just stayed with them? Yeah. So how do you do that? What do you have to do that? My stepdad works at a hog farm, so I work with him. Now, here's another point for you guys not to fucking forget. Okay, this is another one to take very clear note of. His stepdad, his mom's husband, works at a hog farm. He works with him at the hog farm, which means he knows how to butcher hogs. And as a matter of fact, I know that he was highly interested specifically in the process of killing the hog by stabbing it in the neck with the certain tool that's designed for that. So once again, we have another nexus of hog slaughtering or hog farm or pig roasting, okay? So he says, I work with him. It was like, hey, if you work, you can stay here. I mean, I paid rent and stuff. It was a pretty cool job. Have you done any other weddings then or since then? I've done like 2 or 3 in Nevada, and then I did hers. So it's a nationwide thing. Yeah, but since I haven't done it, but yeah, I can do it in all 50 states. Well, not Alaska, but 49. When am I going to Alaska? What's this? I don't know. I don't know why. It says right on my paperwork, though, that you can't do it in Alaska. I'm not sure what the deal is there. Maybe have their own customs or laws, I guess. So then you stayed with your mom and stepdad living in Young America. Yeah, right outside Young America. Okay, and then working for stepdad. What's his name? Alvin. Alvin? Yeah. What's his last name? Hamilton. Alvin Hamilton. Okay. And then after your mom's, where'd you go from there? Well, really, I just started living, sleeping with friends and stuff, and then staying at Alley's whenever I could. For the past 2 years now, maybe? Well, no, I stayed with them until last August. So I stayed with them for probably about a year. So remember, September 2018, okay, September 2018, he comes back to Indiana. Now he's saying for about a year until August, he stayed with them in Young America, okay? Well, it was probably longer than August, sometimes right before winter. Okay, 2019. Yeah, 2019. Okay. And you've kind of been staying with other friends? Yeah, and stuff in Kokomo. Okay, so where's Kagan? So remember, he's about a year and a little in Vegas in 2017 into 2018. Okay, then 2018 to 2019, he's about a year in Young America. And then late 2019, he goes to Kokomo. What other friends did you stay with? Okay. I have a friend named Ryan here that I hang out with every now and then. He lets me stay there a lot. Ryan what? Nair. Like near, N-E-A-R? No. N-E-H-E-R, I'm pretty sure. N-E-H-E-R. His dad's a cop. So listen up. Listen up. Ryan Nair, N-E-H-E-R. This is who Kagan's staying with as he's couch surfing. Ryan Nair's dad is a cop for the Walton PD. Okay, got it? You're going to have to go back and listen to this again and take notes. So late 2019, he's staying with Ryan Nair, whose dad is a cop for the Walton PD. He was for years. I'm not sure if he even is now. So you stayed with him. Where did they live at? Kokomo. I don't even know which street it is. Grant, maybe. I don't even know. I'm terrible with street names. And that's people's names. I'm terrible with that too. Okay. Got it? He's in Kokomo with Ryan Nair, whose dad is a cop or was a cop with the Walton PD. Okay, moving on. All right. So he's asked him about work. He says, I'll just get jobs whenever I can. I do a website called Fiverr. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Yeah, so like, what is it? What computer do you use for the graphic design? So I do graphic design and stuff. Let's back that up. Let's back that up. Let me back it up. He says, are you still working? I'm not, no. He says, I've been trying to, but I do graphic design and stuff. Hello? I do graphic design and stuff. I do a website called Fiverr. Okay, what computer do you use for graphic design? My phone. You do graphic design from a phone? Yeah, from an app on the iPhone. It's called Canva. You can pretty much do like literally anything you can think of. You can on the computer. It's really nice. Okay, like what typical project would you say? Menus for restaurants, I do that a lot. Okay. I'm assuming it would have picked up with all the COVID stuff. Yeah, like definitely, but it actually slowed down too. Because, you know, a lot of places would shut down. Because like what I'd want to do is like mom and pop businesses. You know, somewhere just to try to get 200, 250 from them. A lot of people charge $1,000, you know, $1,000 for a website. I can do the same website for $200. He says, plus you can even make their website. Oh, yes, definitely. Yes. Yeah. So not even just menus or anything, everything. Yes. Okay, all from an app? Well, the websites are done. I don't know if you know. Have you ever heard of GoDaddy.com? Yeah, the Danica Patrick thing. Yeah, yeah, they do everything. That's how we found out about that. I just want to make sure. Is there a small black thumb drive in a Dell computer? That's for Wi-Fi. Is that for Wi-Fi? Yeah, it will stay right on their Wi-Fi or whatever in the back of it. The thumb drive, yeah, and the computer, yeah. Is that yours then too? The thumb drive looks like a thumb. It just goes in the USB. Okay, but yeah, is that yours? Well, yeah, it's for the Wi-Fi for the computers. So yeah. So you don't run a cord all the way through the house? Okay, I'm going to add that real quick. It does look like a little USB drive. Okay. It's like how you add Wi-Fi after. Exactly. Yeah. Got it. Those are a lifesaver. They really are. Okay. And he says Cat 5. Well, now they got Cat 6 now. Yeah. But we can add that real quick. So, like you said, after your mom's there from August 18 to August to October 19, Allie, you've been staying with her. How long have you guys been together? I mean, you said you're together or you're not. Yeah, definitely. For since like last May. Okay. So how'd you meet? Well, I knew her brother in high school, and then we met on Facebook pretty much, just talking on Facebook. Then we hung out. But I've known her family pretty much my whole life. What's her brother's name? Harold. Same last name? Yeah, Conklin. Hello. Allie and Harold Conklin. Question for you guys. Have you heard of another Conklin? I mean, tentacles, guys. This is all one incestuous network. Okay. So you guys met in May 18? Yeah, somewhere. Or 2 years, you said? Yeah, May 19. So yeah, I'm just trying to make sure because you kind of bounced around a tad there. But August to October, and then you started staying with Ryan Neer. Any other friends or anything like that? Not really. I mean, not for long periods or nothing like that. No. It's like a Dell desktop. Yeah. Is that what it is? A Dell? I don't even know. HP or Dell? Do you like any other do you have like any other USB drives or anything like that? No. Okay, just in case if that's like a drive or something. Right. If they can take it, just put it with any USB drives, right? So I just added Black Dell desktop with any USB drive, right? Just to the list. Are you good with that? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, still signed and everything. Yeah. You a car guy? Not really. Not really. So I kind of grew up inaudible. And then it says, you grew up having to be? Yeah, pretty much. Why is that? I don't know. He has a fascination with work cars. So he'll buy a work car and then he'll like customize it. 2 years later, he'll just get rid of it. Like the car we have now, it's getting worked on. It was one of his work cars. He just gave it to us. What do you mean, like work car? Because he works at Chrysler. So, he'll just go back and forth, just buy one car for work and drive to work. Okay. Because he don't want to put miles on his other cars. What car are you driving now? Now listen up. It's an old Grand Am, a 98 Grand Am. A 98 Grand Am, a little Grand Am? Yeah. Okay. Did you grow up working on cars and stuff like that too? Not really. Your dad does, I think. Is that right? Yeah, kinda. Okay, motorcycles. Mechanic guy? Yeah, yeah. And then you said right now you're just looking for work. You're not doing any other work? Nah. What does Allie do? She works at Wendy's. Okay. They're in Kokomo? Yeah. Good. Full time or what? Yeah, full time. Okay, so something you had mentioned about when we were talking about the child porn, you said it was kind of a wake up call when you were talking to these girls that were how old? The youngest I ever knew was 16. Now listen to that. Hey y'all, listen to that. He claims the youngest one he ever knew of was 16, but he's leaving out the 3-year-old. Okay? So again, this is going to be important that you know. I put it right on the table. I've told you. Of course, I've watched your interviews, right? You know, before I've gone through all the phones, you know, from here on out, it's very imperative and very important that you're 100% truthful because you've read the charges. You understand this, right? This is significant, right? And I'm going to tell you that going through these phones, it's not the case. And I have it here and we'll go through it. For instance, you know, you had mentioned this exploitation thing, right? And I mean, that's right here in this chat, this Kick Messenger chat, which was on your Apple iPhone. Do you remember what your Kick Messenger name was? I don't even know. I don't even know. I'm not sure. I think it was my name. I think. Then maybe a number or something. Was it anything else? No, no. I think it was maybe Keegan Klein. I don't know. My name, I think something. So your Kick Messenger accounts were all in your name? Yeah, yeah. You're 100% sure about that? Yeah. Okay. So did anyone else have access to that phone? No, I don't think so. No, no. I mean, I didn't have a girlfriend or no one ever uses my phone or nothing like that. And again, I know you had talked about making fraudulent accounts, right? And what fraudulent accounts have you made? Well, like on Instagram, I would make stuff like that to try to, you know, and on Kick, I don't think, well, I mean, I wouldn't send pictures of myself. But we're talking about names and that. I don't know. I don't know. So I think it was always my name and then maybe like a number, something like that. Okay. And like I said, I mean, I want you to know I have these chats sitting right in front of me. So where did the name Emily Ann 15 come from? Yeah, that was just some random name that I made up. Emily Ann, just some name I made up. Okay, so you did make that one. Yeah, yeah, right. Okay, and tell me about it. And again, I know you remember these things, okay? Because you know, I've gone through all this and I want you to be clear on that. I mean, I've gone through every device, every chat. So I need you to be honest. Because I mean, the line is, it doesn't just do us any good, right? I'm not lying. But I know you know the Emily Ann name. I really, okay? I mean, it's been how long? Yeah, this is a pretty big persona that you've built for Emily Ann. I mean, it is. What do you mean? As in, you know, talking to other girls, to other people. I mean, Emily Ann obviously has a story behind her, right? Does that make sense? No, no, I don't know what you mean by that. No, no, what do you mean a story? Well, we'll go through this first since it's right here. So this is a chat that was 5/15/2016 to 5/17/2016. This is between Emily Ann, 45, and Hannah Rostel. Hannah Rostel. Hannah messages, "Hey, sup," and Emily Ann, "So what kind of pies?" Hannah Rostel, "Whatever you want." Emily Ann, LOL, age. Hannah Rostel, 13 to 16. Emily Ann, oh. Hannah Rostel, what do? What do you have? And you send an image here, which at first image is a Caucasian female exposing her breast. It had water across the chest and a caption that said like this. So we get down a little bit further in the chat, and Hannah Rostel says, "Lol, I mean, what ages?" Emily Ann, 45. "A lot. What about you?" Hannah Rostel, 3 to 16. What's your youngest? Emily Ann, "I don't know." Emily Ann, "You send your first, your youngest." They send a picture of a 13-year-old. Emily Ann, "Damn, she's hot." Emily Ann, "Any videos?" Hannah Rostel, "Yeah, lol, your turn." Now, let me pause here because I need to wake everyone up. You do realize that Hannah Rostel is not a young girl, right? Hannah Rostel is not a young girl. Hannah Rostel is another fucking adult male pedophile. You get it? Because Hannah Rostel's doing what Emily Ann is doing. You got it? Hannah Rostel's a kid. I'm sorry. Hannah Rostel's a grown man acting like a kid. Just like Keegan Klein's grown man acting like a kid. They're trading child pornography. These are two adult men. Hannah Rostel sends a video. Or it was an image that depicted a Caucasian female, 13 years old, taking a picture in the mirror. She was completely nude, turned away from the mirror, exposing her butt and posing. And Emily Ann's response was, "Damn, that's hot as fuck." Yeah, I don't remember any of that. Of course, he's amnesia. And that's me being 1,000% honest with you. No, you're lying. 1,000% lying. I mean, like I told him the last time, I did talk to a lot of girls. That wasn't a girl. You knew it was an adult male who you were trading pornography with. Come on, man. But that was 4 years ago, so I don't remember any of that. How is there no sound? Can everyone hear me? All right, guys, don't do that to me, please. Come on. This is a lot to get through. It's hundreds of pages. Okay. All right, so moving on. So look at line number 6. Okay, look at line number 6. But I mean, this is not like talking to another girl, says the officer. I think this is Vito, right? So David Vito says, this is not talking to another girl. This is exchange of child pornography. Okay, so you get it? You get it? Vito is acknowledging what I just said to you. that this is not a girl named Hannah Rostel. This is another male adult human being exchanging child pornography. And he says this is an exchange of child pornography. Yeah. No, I don't remember. Likely a male, says the other officer. It's two males, two female names on Kick, exchanging graphic child pornography. Girls like that are like 5 years old. 5 years old. Very, very young, like very young. Yeah, that's not me, says Keegan. How could you not remember that, man? Yeah, exactly. That is not me. I would never, I swear to God, that is not me. That is not me. Then you need to come up with who else had access to that device. Fuck, I don't. That was 4 years ago. I don't think anyone, but fuck, I don't. I was never maybe, I was like maybe 15, 14 maybe, but again, no kids. We're talking no fucking kids. Shocking. No, definitely fucking not. There's a ton of it. Right. And that's resulted in his charging document. There's a ton of it. Right. So who else could have potentially used these accounts in your phone? And this is where he plays the let me throw my buddy under the bus. I stayed with this guy that I moved in with before I left with him. But we're talking about this is in 2016. That's what I'm saying. Before I moved, I went to Vegas. And I want this to be clear that the iPhone 4 and the iPhone's name was Keegan's iPhone. And you would have been 22 years old at the time. And it was secured with a PIN code. And it's all yours. Your email addresses, your account information, your fraudulent account information. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that if he used my Kick account without me knowing or something, he would have to know your passcode. Right. Who? My buddy that I moved with. Because that was before that. I know, but I'm saying that I stayed with him in 2016. Up until, I left. I stayed with my dad a lot too. But I was at his house a lot too. Well, I'm telling, and he has kids and stuff. How many? How old were his kids? He has 2 kids. How old were they? 5 and probably 7 when we moved to Vegas. Did the kids move with you? Yeah, I lived with the kids and everything. We lived in Vegas. No wife or girlfriend? What's his name? Dirk, you said? Yeah, right. Yeah. The kid's mom was like a real bad drug addict and moved. She pretty much, you two moved to Vegas with 2 kids? Yeah. Now, guys, pause on that again. Did everyone just hear that last exchange? So pedophile Keegan Klein and his buddy Dirk moved to Vegas with 2 kids, probably 5 and 7 years old. At the time, he's trading child pornography of children 5 and 7 years old, while they're selling drugs and running back and forth to LA. Okay? Did he have access to your phones? He could have. I stayed at his house a lot. We did drugs and stuff. I wasn't saying, I have no clue. But I don't think a 5 and a 7-year-old is going to be on Kick exchanging child pornography. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like he had kids. So like what I mean? No, what are you saying? Why would I be doing that around one of my best friends? You know what I'm saying? If I was going to do that, you can't really, don't try to talk your way around this. Yeah, I'm not getting what I'm saying. Then tell me or explain it to me. So what if he was using my phone? You know what I'm saying? I understand that. Yeah. But he would have needed a password to do that, which that ain't, I mean, that ain't no big deal. I give my password to a lot of people. See, this is another one. So look what he's doing. He's in a hot seat. So the first thing he does is he throws Dirk under the bus. Then he includes his dad or his father in that. Now he's saying, oh, I give my password to a lot of people. Let me ask you guys, how many of you give your passwords to anyone? Okay, let's continue. Who else have you given your passcode to? I mean, he was my roommate. I mean, you said a lot of people. Who else? His friend that lived that would stay with us, Satasha. What was her name? Satasha. Satasha? Yeah. What was her last name? Parcio. Something like that. Parcio, I think. That's how you pronounce it. Okay, you're saying that Dirk Hayes, Satasha Partial. Who else? I mean, that's probably about it. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, because she was over there too, that in your interview, you admitted you had this problem. Okay? And I talked to a lady about it. And yeah, and there was no, well, I do not give my stuff. You owned up to it. You admitted talking to girls, even in your polygraph, that were under 16 years old. They deliberately asked you, what if a girl told you they were under 16? And your exact words were, I would probably still talk to her. So don't, Keegan, listen. 14 and 13 does not mean a little kid that's 3 or whatever you said. Listen to me. Okay. So, well, that's totally different. So he took your phone for this part, but then when you asked, do you have any 9 to 13 fuck videos? Yeah, I didn't. That would be in about that age. Yeah, that's not me. That's not me. Because Emily Ann, who is Keegan, responded, I do. So you're telling me that you had 9 to 13 fuck videos in your phone? They were on your device? I had them on the device? Listen, on the device. That is not true. So you wouldn't know. I'm telling you it's true. I have no clue about any of that. We've been through that phone, right? We've been through all the phones, but we're not allowed to lie to you about this, right? That is on your phone. And why would I tell them they could keep my phones if I have stuff on it like that? You didn't have a choice. They served a warrant, Kagan. I mean, they asked me for them. You could have told them, but you could have told them, no, I have nothing to hide. So, but what I'm telling you right now is if I let Deputy Clinton have my phone and use my phone and I take it back, I'm going to know that there's 9 to 13 fuck video phone. Right. There's no way you didn't know. Again, we need the honesty. I'm telling you my honest, I swear to God. That's why you're the devil. So 5/17/2016, Emily Ann, who you admitted to making the Emily Ann account, sends a photo to Hannah Rostel, remember, who's one of his customers. It's a Caucasian female laying down. She's not wearing a shirt. She's exposing her breasts, showing her mouth. Doesn't show the rest of her face, but it shows her chest, and you make the comment, she's only 14, ha ha. Where else has we heard that before? Where else have we heard that? Where else have we heard that? That's a 14-year-old that you would have talked to, right? Right. That's the same conversation. Same conversation. I'm saying I don't remember that. I'm saying I probably would have said that. Yes. Okay. I really honestly don't remember talking to anyone because it wouldn't be like the same person. I wouldn't keep talking to the same person. Know what I mean? Right. But when you're exchanging child pornography, that's obviously, and then when you're exchanging Dropbox links that go to your Dropbox, that's a different story too. Okay, listen up, guys. Don't be distracted in the chat. When you're exchanging child pornography and when you're exchanging Dropbox links that go to your Dropbox, that's a different story too. Now, there you go. There's your first mention of the Dropbox. Listen, we're on page 52, line number 9. I wish you would all stop the bullshit in the chat. You're making this job difficult. Page 52, line number 9 is your first mention of a Dropbox. Mods, anyone fucking around, time them out for 24 hours. I'm not going to see, if I see another thing that pisses me off, I'm shutting the chat down. First mention of, you see how this is? Do you see how this is? When I'm talking about the most important thing in this entire case, it's fucking disruption central. I need everyone to pay attention to this concept right now. When I'm talking about the absolute most important thing in the Delphi murders case, we get disruption central, chaos central. First mention of the word or reference to any Dropbox. Page 52, line number 9. If you're not here to pay attention and learn, you need to go. You should download this, you should study it, and you should pay attention that I'm trying to display to you page 52, line number 9. So let's back on up and reorient to what I'm talking about. You're exchanging Dropbox links that go to your Dropbox. That's a different story. What do you mean? I never had a Dropbox. Now, you see, pay attention to his response. Because look, Keegan Klein is one lying, murderous, pedophile, sick motherfucker. Okay? So every time something is pinned down on him, he acts like a maniac. Okay? What do you mean? I never had a Dropbox. Yes, you did. That I sent links for. What do you mean? What do you mean? Bud, from your Dropbox account off your phone, we have started one of the largest child pornography investigations ever undertaken in the state of Indiana. Oh, well, we're okay, but that's not me. You, a Dropbox account. It's a shared link from your Dropbox. Not from mine. There's no way possible. Yes. You do not have a Dropbox now, you're saying? Now listen. I have a Dropbox, not that I would send nudes and shit through. Say, a lot of people have Dropboxes. So let's back that up, okay? Listen to this. Line number 11 on page 52. What do you mean I never had a Dropbox? So then they reiterate about 12 times, no, it's your Dropbox, it's your Dropbox, it's your Dropbox on your phone, it's your Dropbox. So then he changes the story and he says, I have a Dropbox, page number 53, line number 6. I have a Dropbox, but not that I would send nudes and shit through. And then he minimizes. He pulls the minimization technique. Say a lot of people have Dropboxes. These are people that communicated with you or you shared images through your Dropbox link. We started looking at those people, and it just freaking spirals out of control to this major child pornography ring. Now, here's where everybody needs to realize what the fuck is going on with Delphi, okay? Because remember, they are trying to bury this. This document was never supposed to get out. Okay? Again, we started looking at these people, and it just freaking spirals out of control to this major child pornography ring. Why are we letting the narrative pushers, the state actors, the controlled opposition distract you from facts? Major child pornography ring spiraled out of control from the people connected to Keegan Klein's Dropbox. And then David Vito says, absolutely. And you even have it to the point where when you're getting this child porn, you're sharing it with your Emily Ann account to your Keegan Klein Dropbox. So in other words, you see what he's doing? He's recruiting, or he's procuring this child pornography from other individuals like himself. For instance, the person hiding behind the Hannah Rostel account, he's obtaining the child pornography, and then he's ushering it into his Dropbox, wherein he has other users accessing, to the point of that it freaking spirals out of control to a major child pornography ring. Okay, because people want you distracted, and people want you to think that this is a nothing burger. This is what I mean. The devil knows. You can't tell me that that guy that you randomly lived with for a month knows your Dropbox password, knows your iPhone password. Come on. And then, you also are, that's your primary phone, and you don't know all the child porn's on it. Keegan, come on. And he continues. I swear to God, no child. I guess child porn technically is anything under 18. But yeah, no kids like that ever. You can show me anything you want. That doesn't mean it was me doing it. It's on your device. Okay, that happened. I mean, it's probably happened to a lot of people. That doesn't mean that, no, it doesn't happen. Okay, someone shoots someone, and then they're with the person that happens a lot, and they get charged for it, and they'll say like they killed him. That doesn't mean they killed him. What the fuck is he talking about? Someone shooting somebody? Who's talking about shooting somebody? You see what he's doing? What he's doing is exactly what you would expect from a guilty person. Look over there, look over there, look over there. It's not my phone. It's not my account. It's not me. That's why we asked you initially, is there anyone else that has access to your phones? And you said no. Right, but that was before you told me how little kids and shit. I've never done that. Your story changes. Okay, I understand. Yes, of course it does, because I never did effing stuff, little kids and effing stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff with little kids. Okay. And that's not me, is what I'm saying, though. And we're asking you if it's not you. I'm in your corner on this, but you've got to come off of it. Who else? That's what I'm saying. He's the only person I was around. That's what I'm saying. That would be like that. Okay, let's go from here then. So, who else has access to your phones from 2016 to now? Him, only him. Okay, that's literally it. I'm going to write this down. Okay, so from 2016 to now, yeah, I mean, well, technically, my girlfriend now, my phone. I mean, she knows my password and stuff. Okay, 2016 to now, what's his name? Dirk Hayes. Dirk Hayes had access to your phone? Yeah. Now, when did you live with Dirk? We moved to Las Vegas, but before, I mean, I would stay with him all the time. You moved in 2017. Yeah. Okay, and but then again, you said you stayed with your dad. You said you very rarely stayed with Dirk. Yeah, mainly. But I mean, I'd stay with him. But I mean, not like every day or nothing. Did Dirk stay with you at your dad's house? No, he never. The reason we met was he was my dad's neighbor. And then he moved down the street. Down the street in the same neighborhood or where? Yeah, about 4 blocks. 4 blocks away? Yeah, about 4 blocks, 4 or 5 blocks away. And then just to finish, the Hannah Rostel sending another image after Emily Ann says that they like any age. Yeah, I don't need to hear any of that. Well, we have to go through it. We do. We have to go through this. This is your device named Kagan's iPhone. I understand that. With your passcode, with your account information, it doesn't have Dirk's information. I'm telling you that right now. Okay, I understand that. Okay, so when Hannah Rostel sends an image of a Caucasian female, 7 to 12 years old, taking a picture of herself in the mirror, she has her pants pulled down to her thighs and she's sitting on the ground with her legs open, exposing and touching her own vagina. Emily Ann, who is Keegan Klein, responds, "What a little whore, LOL." Yeah, that's not me. And you know what we've actually had? We've had some people look at that, and they believe there are two people routinely speaking on multiple devices that are in your house. Because the phonetics are different, the phrasings are different, but this is over a period of time. We're not talking like this is isolated, right? Like a week here. And not here, and not here. We're talking about over a period of time, right? I don't know. And again, you have to understand, and I know you do, you're a tech savvy person, okay? The phones collected GPS data. Right. Okay. You probably know pictures are embedded with GPS as well. Yes. And if I was doing that, I would have not have VPN blockers and stuff like, you know what I mean? Well, I'm telling you right now that it's connected to that house you lived at with your dad. Right. Not in Vegas with Dirk. Right. And you just said Dirk wasn't there. I mean, Dirk's been to my dad's house. He hasn't stayed in my house. He's been there, right? Yeah, he lived right next door. Okay, but again, years prior to that, conversations over the last day, I mean, that conversations that last over days, not like, oh, and I mean, I'm telling you, if I had a buddy come over to my house and I said, "Here's my phone," and he's on it, I mean, for these hours long conversations, right, Keegan. Okay, but if you're on drugs, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just saying, that means we used to take drugs a lot together. What type of drugs? I mean, hard drugs. Like what? You're going to pass out. PCP, LSD, a lot of, mushrooms. So, I mean, you've done it. You did that all the time or sometimes? I mean, a lot, yeah. Are you still? When's the last time you used? Oh, forever. I mean, I haven't liked hard drugs. I mean, any drug. I mean, I smoke marijuana. Other than that, but still, other than that, nothing. Okay, is there any narcotics or drugs in the house at all? No. Or in the apartment? No. There's a bong though. Again, I mean, you're really going to have to do some more convincing on that. That a friend who randomly comes over and you guys get high together is taking your phone. No, I totally get where you're coming from. I don't think you do. Because I'm telling you right now, you know you're a bright guy, dude. There's no doubt. I would say most of the time you're probably smartest guy in the room. Uh uh there's two other iPhones. They're both white. What are those? Where at? In the apartment. No, there's no other. Actually, she does have another phone. Yeah, she does have two phones. Why does she have two phones? She needed to get her service switched over through Boost Mobile, so she just never did. I bought her that new phone and she just never did. How did you buy her a phone? You're not working. Well, I mean, I make money through, all you need to do is one job. I mean, I can make $1,000 easily. You said you charge 200. Yeah, but I mean, just for a menu, but if I make a website, I can do work for all these people, make all kind of videos and stuff for them. No, no, Keegan. What you're doing is you're selling burner phones to the entire community. Okay. That's how you're making thousands of dollars. Well, again, I'm telling you right now that on each and every one of these devices that have your names on them, they're not once time a friend comes over and uses it, or just because a guy lives next door, he comes and uses it. Where does Dirk live now, man? Somewhere in Vegas, I'm guessing. You ever talk to him? No, we had like a fallout over what? Money, pretty much. Him trying to take all the money we had. To do what with? What was he going to do? I don't know. Probably creating a nest egg. Probably move. I don't know. And then there's a bunch of inaudible, which I can't really even distinguish here, so I'm going to skip it. Something about his dad. Okay, they go into talking about his dad, but it's all inaudible, apparently. Or maybe they're talking about Dirk, but talking about being a dad. And he said he's a really good dad. And how old was he? He was close to 30, probably 29. So he's probably 31 now, right now. So can we come back to the TP phone? Or maybe that's iPhone. There's a lot there, but I need you to understand that the stuff on these devices that we have again is, I mean, we're clear that it's not your friend who's occasionally coming over. We'll go back. We'll go back to the Apple iPhone 3. This phone was named Keggy. Is that your nickname? You would have been 20 at the time. Again, iPhone 3? Uh-huh. There's no way I would have been 20 at the time. How old were you? I mean, I had that phone when I was in high school. How old are you now? I'm 26. So 5 years ago. No. What would have been what? There's no way. I'm telling you right now, the last time this device was used was 5 years ago. It was used up until 2015. Well, you can say what you want, but that's not the truth. Okay. Again, this is why it's important. I'm going off of a device. Listen to me. I'm going off a device that has no reason to lie to me. It goes into your phone. And Keegan says, you're talking to someone that has no reason to lie to you. What? Bro, you have every reason to lie to them. You've just been busted with a stash of child porn going down to 3-year-olds. Keegan, you've lied to investigators 3 years ago. You're lying now. Okay, well then, why would it take 3 years for them to come and get me? What do you mean? Because you don't understand. Does that make any sense? Like he told you how big this investigation is. I mean, this is a lot of child porn. Well, oh my God. Okay. All right, whatever. I need a lawyer because I have no clue what this is. This is ridiculous because I did not have any images or videos of children at all. I'm telling you right fucking now. There's no way. If I shared a Dropbox, you know how Dropbox works. Obviously, you're a smart guy. But if someone sends it to me, the sender has some. Are we going to clear this up or what? What do you mean? Because if you're going to keep talking, yeah, lawyer, yeah, you don't want to clear any of this up. No, if you're telling me all this, no, I do not. I don't want to talk to you anymore. You might need to hear it. I really don't because I've heard enough of this bullshit. So I don't need to hear any of it. And you understand the charges that you're going to jail with right now? Yep. Okay. A lifeline is here. Yeah, I'm trying. But yeah, when you guys are sitting here telling me that I'm lying to you and I'm not, well, I'm going to tell you. I have no reason to lie to you. That's why I have no reason to lie to you. You have every reason to lie because you're a murderess, lying, pedophilic child predator. You can let us go through it all and explain it to you so at least you understand you have that opportunity. Nothing else we go through and you can listen because I'm telling you right now, just the level 4 child exploitation, just those stacked together, just those counts are 45 years in Indiana. Right. That's not counting. There's 30 counts total. So you don't want to go through this and get charged with that and take all of this because you're going to get charged with all of this. All of this is being put on you. And if you don't want to hear everything, that's your prerogative. So I can sit in silence and not say anything. If you want to keep talking, yeah. You want to keep talking to us? Yeah. Okay, again, I have no reason to lie to you. I'm sorry for acting that way, but I mean, right. Then that's what, right. Yeah, whatever. So we'd expect that. But you got to understand, we need an answer for this because it's all you or it's you and someone else. It's like I said, they told me last time I was here too. I wasn't here last time. And then suddenly, listen to this. Okay, listen to this. Suddenly he says, about killing 2 girls. That's what they said to me. I tried to say that I failed. No, they tried to say that I failed a polygraph and that I did it, me or my dad. So do you understand how I kind of have like this presence where like, wow, these guys are bullshit artists? You get where I'm coming from? Right, and I get it. I just want to be clear. You do not want a lawyer at this time. You're still willing to talk to us. Yeah. Okay, but you have to understand from our point of view that we're going off the data from multiple devices, okay? And we do need to get this to this because right now you're taking the heat and everything is being placed on you. So that's why this is important to go through this. Now, at any point that you want to be honest and say, look, guys, this was not on me and I know it wasn't on me because of this, I just did. But I can't. I don't know who it is, but I'm telling you, I did not any children at all. Okay, well, I'm just going to keep going through it then, okay? Right. So like I said, this is still the iPhone 4, okay? Still the Emily Ann 45. A conversation happened on 4/30/16. Emily Ann is talking to Bethany Annie Ann. Emily Ann says, I just checked my Kick messages. Ha ha. My little cousin must have accidentally sent me a video of her. Oh my God. Emily Ann sends a picture and says, she's just got naked and rubbed. Ha ha. It's hot as fuck. She's super young though. Emoji sad face. She didn't mean to send it to me. What's your deal? And then Bethany Ann finally says, hey, I don't have good service for it to load. Okay. And it kind of seems because Bethany Ann said she didn't like that Emily Ann called another girl hot as fuck, and then Emily Ann said, "She's my cousin?" Question mark, and then it ends. Another one comes up on the iPhone, another kick. Now this is 9/7/2016. This is only 6 months before the murders, guys. 6 months before the murders of Abby and Libby. Listen, with the 13-year-old girl, Emily Ann, hey, or 18, yo, Emily Ann, what up? My dad asked your age limit. He said, you're gorgeous. He asked if it's wrong to like little girls like you. Eleanor, 18, it's okay, emoji, laughing face. This has to be Dirk. I'm telling you right now, it has to be Dirk. See, he's throwing his Dirk under his buddy Dirk under the bus now. 1,000%. His dad lived in Peru with him. I mean, 1,000%. I never said any of that. Okay, next. Emily Ann. Hey, it's Adam. You're so cute, princess. Eleanor, 18, thanks. Emily Ann, were you naked in that? Eleanor, 18, yep. Emily Ann, show more. Eleanor, 18, sends another one. Emily Ann, I love your nipples with the smiley winky face. Emily Ann says, you're 12, right? Eleanor, 18, says, 13. Emily Ann says, so hot, with another winky face. Back down in the chat, Emily Ann says, can I see your pee, vagina? Emily Ann 45 says, is it bad I would have effed you so long ago, with another winky face? And this is the part where it didn't make sense to me, because at the time you said, but Emily Ann would have sucked a 37-year-old dick when you were 10. Eleanor Ann, must be 18, says, of course. Emily Ann, would you let a grown man touch you at 8? Winky face. Eleanor, 18, sure. Emily Ann, 45, how young would you go? Eleanor, 18, I don't know. Emily Ann, tell me. Eleanor, 18, 7. Emily Ann, so hot, winky face. So, I mean, the age doesn't add up, but I mean, was this, again, we're clear on the, you said you had images of 14, 15-year-olds, something like that, right? Was this something that you and Dirk shared? You guys shared child porn together? No, never. We never talked about anything like that. So when you were talking to these girls that were 14, 15, I mean, where would you be in the house? What do you mean? Like, I mean, would you be in the bedroom? Yeah, my bedroom. Okay, and you guys said you lived in an apartment. So I'm assuming with the rent, everything, it would be a big apartment just because how expensive things are. What would Dirk be doing? What do you mean? Like when we lived in Vegas? Or whenever? I don't really know. I didn't really. Okay, I mean, because again, like, I'd really like to focus on, because of all of these chats and that phone is coming up to that. I think it's 67, like where you live. All the GPS data is coming up to that house. So I guess we really take away Vegas from that. But so when Dirk would come over and you guys would hang out, where would you guys hang out? In the living room and stuff. Okay. So, I mean, you tell me every time he came over, you guys got high and he took your phone and he was on it? No, what I'm saying is I don't even remember him having my phone. But if I'm passed out, you know, I mean, I don't know what someone else has done. Okay. This one's an Apple iPhone again. It's a 4. I think this is 5/14/2016. Emily Ann, my dad asked your age. Inaudible says 16. Emily Ann says, he said there's no way. Inaudible, okay. Emily Ann said, he send a pie you. And no response. Another one. This one would have been again in 16 again. My dad asked how often you have sex, which was Emily Ann saying that. KK Baker said, I'm a virgin. Emily Ann said, my dad asked if you think you could deep throat. KK Baker said, yeah, I think. Why? Emily Ann said, he asked if an older man took you in the bathroom and told you to get on your knees and suck his. Would you do? KK Baker said, no. KK Baker said, oh, probably not. Emily Ann said, oh. Emily Ann said, if he asked a 40-year-old, no, he asked if a 40-year-old met you over, could he look at your vagina? KK Baker said, no. What does your dad look like? Emily Ann sends a picture. Emily Ann said, well, I'm sorry. KK Baker said, how old? Emily Ann said, 42. What about you? KK Baker said, 16. He said, oh. KK Baker said, yeah. Emily Ann said, he asked if you'd ever hook up with a 42-year-old. KK Baker said, yes. Emily Ann said, he's almost 43, though. He asked if you'd lose your virginity to him and show your body, baby. And then it gets down to Emily Ann asked for KK Baker's Skype, and she gives it to him. Emily Ann said, he asked if you want to watch him jerk off. Emily Ann said, he asked if you'd get naked for him. Emily Ann said, hurry. He's not waiting all day. He said, hurry before he comes. KK Baker said, ready. And then on the phone, there's a Skype conversation that took place. Through what Skype account? I'd have to look at that one. But what I'm trying to say is, I mean, that would mean that if Dirk, he'd be masturbating in your house, right, on Skype. And I think you or your dad would probably notice that. Right, yeah. So this is one that you probably talked because she was 16. No, I never Skyped with anyone, which means he Skyped with them, okay? So that's what he'd do, obviously. He'd do the texting through Kik. He'd get the pictures through Kik, and then when he wanted to do a FaceTime, he'd Skype. And then he downplays it. I mean, Skype in high school and stuff, but never, why would I video chat with someone? I mean, you know, if I'm obviously not that person, I mean, you could just keep her on dark. Yeah. So you can't see anything, right? Which is very common with cases like this. Is like they'll say they're in a dark room, our camera's not working, where they can see the other user and they can't see them. It's pretty common practice with these type cases. What I'm trying to wrap my head around is, I mean, you made the Emily Ann account, right? Okay. And talk to girls with it, right? So some of these have to be you, right? Yeah, I mean, definitely talk to girls on there. Yeah, I'm not denying that at all. And this is another one from 2016. Emily Ann and Ellie Mae both say, hey. Emily Ann says, how old is your sis? Ellie Mae says, 4. Emily Ann Kagan Klein says, picture? Question mark. Ellie Mae sends a picture. Ellie Mae says, her booty, LOL. And Emily Ann responds, damn, with a winky face. And any more? Now, guys, Ellie Mae is not a girl who has a 4-year-old sister. Ellie Mae is another adult male human being who is sending pornography of 4-year-old female children to Kagan Klein. Okay? And another one on that iPhone, Emily Ann and Cheyenne. Look at there, guys. Another Cheyenne. Have we found our third Cheyenne? Emily Ann says, just wondering, you're still 12? Cheyenne says, 13 turning 14. Emily Ann says, have you fucked? Cheyenne says, I'm saving mine for marriage like girl sex. Emily Ann says, yes, like best friend sex. And then down towards the bottom, Emily Ann says, is it bad that I want to touch my best friend? Cheyenne says, I don't know. And again, there's a couple days in the chats that have taken place. The previous was on Monday. This was another day. The next day, I'm sorry, a couple days later, Emily Ann says, the video of you fingering your butt makes me come every time. Emily Ann is so hot. A couple days into the next month later, Emily Ann contacts Cheyenne again. Want to rub each other? She says no. Emily Ann, a couple months later, contacts her again and says, now I'm to the point I look at the old video 2 times a day and use my marker. We were able to find that video. It's of that girl, the video of that girl. Use what? A marker, her marker. Use my marker. It's masturbating with a marker. And we found that video, and we also found the video of this girl masturbating. And then another month later in August, Emily Ann says, my dad asked if you still shave a lot. Cheyenne says, yes. The next day, Emily Ann said, he asked if you'd still ride him. A couple days later, Emily Ann said, he asked if he could taste your panties. Cheyenne said, I don't know. And then again, the next month, Emily Ann contacts Cheyenne again and says, my dad asks, he keeps asking about your butt. And then Cheyenne stops the conversation. So we have these and these here again. I mean, I've already went over the Dropbox stuff. 32816 to 5416, Emily Ann communicates with Brit girls only. 316, they contact Emily Ann. The next month, Emily Ann asks for videos. A couple days later, Emily Ann and Brit girls only exchange Dropbox links. So Brit girls only is another collector of child porn. And again, the Dropbox links were linked back to your Dropbox. Again, let's go back to Snapchat, which everyone thinks that deletes stuff, but stuff does get recovered. 1116, we have chats. You're so hot. Amanda says, I'm 15. Your response is, I know. Show daddy your body. And then these ones were really the bad ones. These are videos that were on your phone. The duration of one video is 45 seconds, and it was an African-American female. She was about 4 to 7. African-American female, about 4 to 7 years old, wearing a white tank top with no pants. She was on her hands and knees, facing away from the camera, and she was holding a vibrating toothbrush that was turned on. There was an identified male taking a video of the child who's 5 to 7. And he was rubbing his penis and penetrating the child's anus. Another one was 1 minute and 54 seconds long. Caucasian female, 3 to 5 years old. I cannot do this. I cannot hear this. This one's on your phone. This one is on your phone. This is what you're being charged with. I don't understand. I understand, but I don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear. I mean, again, this is what you're charged with. I understand, but I mean, I'd rather not hear about it. What about it? What is it specifically that you don't want to? You mean you keep talking about these little kids and stuff. I don't want to hear this stuff. But I need to make sure you understand this is what was on your phone, on the phone. I get it. From the first pages of what you're, I just rather not hear any of the stuff. Okay, we'll jump to another phone, Keegan. Another iPhone. This is the iPhone 3. Phone name is Keggy. Last utilized in 2015. It did have a passcode on it. It had your email address and account information on it. Just the web history that was searched for the life of device. Here's a list. Beautiful young teen girls. Cute young teen on webcam. High school gangbang. Hot young teens. Really young girls virgin. Teen fuck for drugs. Young teens fucked. underage girl strips, underage girl gets fucked in the ass. A bunch of these search history. And again, we jump to a Samsung Galaxy S5, which was the one that was found in Vegas in the rental car. Yeah, the rental car. And just like in little time that you had that phone, I mean, which was 2 days, I think you had that phone, something like that. Couple days, however long you had it. Couple days. The web history that was recovered on there. I didn't even use that phone. Well, you had factory reset it. The timestamps from after that factory reset, which again, it was named Klein Photography, and it had all your email accounts on it, including the Emily Ann and the Keegan Klein at Hotmail, and the web searches were preteen booty, preteen body, little preteen body, girl touch while asleep, preteen fingered on video, little girl, little young teen vids, and there was child pornography on there as well. One image, it was a collage of images, and it was a Caucasian female, 7 to 10 years old, performing oral sex on an unidentified nude male. Again, 5 to 10 years old, performing oral sex on an unidentified nude male. There was some bestiality on there as well. Bestiality, which I know you said you had that was kind of like the weirdest porn you ever looked up at one point. I don't ever remember doing that. Yeah, I know in your polygraph you mentioned the weirdest porn you ever looked up was with animals. So that was on there as well. And then the Samsung Galaxy S4, which was last utilized in 2015, that one had your Keegan Klein Skype, Tony Klein Skype, Keegan Klein Hotmail, Tony Klein at Gmail, Keegan Klein at Gmail, Tony Klein 765 at Gmail, Emily Ann, and just those internet web searches, 12-year-old body, 12-year-old fingered, 13-year-old Snapchat, 14-year-old anal. Keegan Klein, little teen ass fucked, photos of Sandy Hook bodies, preteen slut, underage blowjobs. Why is the Sandy Hook in there? It's in your searches, search history. The next book, Premium Tablets, that was 2016, had your Keegan Klein Hotmail, Tony Klein Skype, Keegan Klein Snapchat, Emily Ann. It had child porn on it as well. 13 to 15-year-old Caucasian female not wearing a shirt, exposing breasts. The Apple iPad Touch, last utilized 2015 with the secure PIN code. Had your Keegan Klein Hotmail.com. Keegan Klein usernames, search history. Recorded from that was 12-year-old girl sucks, 13-year-old girl's butt, 13-year-old girl hand job, 16-year-old girl essing D. Actual search of Keegan Klein. Little girl touching, sexing 14-year-old. Little girl sucking, and little young girl takes it in the ass. And then on the Apple iPhone 5C was the one that you had, and that was your main device. It was named Keegan's phone. And that was the one that you turned into the state police after the search warrant was served. And the names on there, Keegan Klein at Hotmail, Keegan Klein 45 at Hotmail, 45. Emily Ann, Jerry Klein, Keegan Klein 1, Keegan Klein. And again, we have some search history recovered on there. Teens, little teeny, jailbait, preteen Snapchat saves. And I mean, what I need you to understand and where the obstruction comes in of justice on your charges here is that the device shows everything you did, okay? So when you're done with the polygraph and you went home, when you were done with the polygraph at 7:30, okay? When you went back home at 9:19, you found the phone, right? You found they had the phone. No, you found they had left the phone, right? Where'd you find it? It was in the kitchen somewhere, okay? And it was on like top the microwave. Okay, so you found the phone on top the microwave. Then what'd you do? What do you mean? What did you do after you found your phone? I think I'm pretty sure I had my dad call the State Department, or maybe I can't remember. When do you think he did that? I think it was maybe the next day. So why wouldn't you call right away and say, hey, I don't even think I found it that night. I'm not sure. You just said you got home and you found it on the microwave. Well, I'm saying that's where I found it. Not right when I got home. I can't remember if it was that night or the next day. What I'm going to tell you, after your polygraph, when you got home, you found the phone on the microwave. Like you said, I think it was the most honest statement you made right here today. You went home, found the phone or microwave, and at 9:19 you uninstalled the Snapchat and you deleted it from the phone. Then right after that, you uninstalled Instagram and you deleted it from the phone. And the next day on 26, you uninstalled and deleted Meet Me from the phone. And then you uninstalled Snapchat again and checked to make sure it got deleted, and everything got deleted. And then you deleted and uninstalled it again. And then it wasn't until 2 days later you called the state police and said, "Oh, hey, by the way, well, I wasn't making sure I deleted it. I deleted the accounts. I deleted the Meet Me. I deleted all those accounts." Because like you said, it was the most real wake-up call I ever had in my life. So, I mean, you know, I went home and deleted it. I deleted the Meet Me and everything. When you also knew the contents of everything on there would be removed as well. Well, yeah, I guess, I mean, I didn't know that. But you said it was the biggest wake-up call. So, yeah, meaning like, hey, I need to really change my effing life here. You have to stop talking to underage girls, which you admitted talking to underage girls on Snapchat and Instagram and all the other social media. So that was my like way of getting rid of all those accounts and stuff. Right. Before you turned it into law enforcement. Kind of makes you wonder what happened with Abby and Libby's phone, right? Right. Remember, Libby's phone was reset a week before the murders, and then her accounts were sanitized by her sister, Kelsey German, the night of their murders. Whole lot of whitewashing in Delphi. Just like Discovery was whitewashed and deleted, just like interviews were whitewashed and deleted, just like videos, marathon footage was whitewashed and deleted. Everything's been whitewashed and deleted. That's why this is important. And remember, this was leaked. This was never meant for your eyes and ears. I'm going to skip a little. Just give me a moment. All right, apologize, y'all. This is a lot of reading. I'm thirsty as hell. My throat's starting to go. Okay, so let's look at this. This is a. Oh, I'm going to back that up. Okay. Line number 8 here. We're now on page 84. Child porn was on your phone. I mean, like the girls that I would talk to, 13, whatever, yeah, I would talk to them. But none of the little kid stuff or any of the Dropbox, or no, I had any clue that was on my phone. And I have no knowledge of ever sending like a Dropbox to anyone. Yeah, that's the lies. I had no clue there was little kid stuff on there. Me and the lady talked about it. I told her, yeah, I had a problem. And, we talked about everything. I had no clue there was little kids on there. And I wouldn't give the cop my phone if there was stuff on there like that I knew was on there. So you see the games being played here? And you deleted the stuff before you gave the phone to law enforcement. You deleted your avenues that you talk to the girls with. So you're covering yourself, right? Because the lady said right now, just stop now and delete everything. No, she did not, Keegan. She did not. She did not tell you to delete everything. She didn't say delete everything. What she said was like, you do have a problem and you need to stop right now. And I'm telling you, your exact words were, yes, I do, and I'm so fucked. Again, when talking to the shrink, he said, yes, I do, and I'm so fucked. Because she's telling me I just killed 2 people and I failed my polygraph. Hello. She's telling me, a polygraph examiner said, I just killed 2 girls, Abby and Libby, and I failed my polygraph. Okay, let's forward through some of this. It's not going to fly that a guy that lived by you was accessing your phone and accessing your account information and knew your passwords and we're having these conversations for days on end. It's not going to fly. That would be someone living in the home that was using the device and communicating with these girls and communicating with these people that were trading child porn. And again, it's not just a random occurrence. We're talking years here. We're talking months of the same person. We're talking days and hours, okay? Well, I'm saying that was Dirk was the only person around, but we've already ruled him out because let's go back to what I just said. I really wouldn't rule him out. How is that ruling someone out? He's lived next to me. Sometimes GPS coordinates, like he's literally right next to me. You see, this fucking piece of shit right here, I feel sorry for Dirk, honestly. Honestly. I feel sorry for Dirk. Dirk had a child 5 years old and 7 years old who Keegan was living with. Do you understand what I'm saying? While he's simultaneously collecting 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 12-year-old, 10-year-old. You understand what I'm saying? I feel sorry for Dirk. Anyway, so let's skip ahead a little. Have you ever met? No, I'm sorry. Let me skip through this some. Sorry. There's the page I'm looking for. Okay, listen to this, please. Please listen to this. Because it's very important that we get clarity on this, which no one has ever given you. All they've given you is disinformation, misinformation around this transcript. That's why we're reading it line by line, focusing on what's important. So, did your dad ever have access to your phones and use them? No. Similar with Dirk, right? Right. Okay. My dad wouldn't even be allowed to use my phone like that. I wouldn't let my dad have my phone for long periods of time like that. Now here he says what he does though. Now listen to this. This is where Tony comes in. Listen. I have to do my dad's work on his computer or on my phone on his thing. Like you have my email, you can search the uplink on Keegan Klein Hotmail right now and see it's Chrysler stuff. I help my dad. So you see what I mean? It appears to me that what he's doing, he's logging in using his dad's passwords, his dad's accounts, his dad's email address. I don't think his dad's doing this. I think it's him. But again, he continues to try to blame Dirk. See, he's blaming Dirk. I let Dirk use my phone and for Amazon and da 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 da. So what is it like? You mean you had a bad relationship with your dad? Well, we'd get in arguments and stuff growing up. My dad is like, he has a real short temper. He would always freak out on me, literally anything. Give me an example so I can understand better. Like I slam his door too hard on his truck door. Yeah. And I'm mowing the yard. I accidentally have it pointed toward his vehicles or something. It sounds like his dad is really fond of his vehicles. um, Using the blower or something and a rock or something hit the truck or his vehicle. What would his reaction be to slamming his door, his truck door, whatever? He'd just yell at me and stuff. We'd be in that whole thing for like a day, like I don't want to talk to him type of argument. And I feel like you're still not understanding. There has to be more than one user on the account. Like you said, there's pictures and stuff on my phone. I would never want my dad to come across any of that ever in my life. He would never talk to me. What about Dirk coming across things? No, but I'd much rather it be him than my dad. You know what I mean? So I can just understand. I mean, like, I imagine someone, like you said, you have a father growing up or whatever. It's the same thing. It's just like, I mean, if he found out any of that, I would have no dad anymore. My dad would never talk to me again. I mean, it's different than, it's different than never talking again to my dad. Well, I mean, what would you see as the point where your dad would never talk to you again? Talking to underage girls. I mean, after all this, he'll never talk to me again. And just for clarity, guys, he doesn't. Okay, so what this is leading me to believe is that he has chosen to blame his dad and his best friend Dirk for all of his behaviors. And here's the important thing. Someone else was sharing some of his accounts, and he was sharing his dad's account. Anyway, I'll forward through some of this. This is just a lot, man. This is just, it's kind of too much. I might have to do this in a 2-part because I'm getting burned out. I wanted to make it all the way through, though, so we're going to try. I'm getting to the relevant points. So everyone you spoke to, all these girls that were younger, you met them all on Meet Me? Yeah. What about Instagram and Facebook? I don't remember ever talking to anyone on Instagram, but I could have. It was mostly all on Meet Me. You said you had met someone on Instagram or something. You'd kick them to Snapchat. Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, probably sounds right. Did you tell them a couple of the girls in real life that they just didn't know who you were? You actually tell them that in the interview? Yeah, I don't remember any of the girls. I don't remember, but I'm sure there was. I don't remember, though. I mean, there's so many people that I talked to. I don't remember anyone in person, though, ever, which tells me he did, including Abby and Libby. You said, I'm trying to think if I can use of her name, but you said you had went to school with one of them. And when you remember them showing you pictures of different girls. Yeah. And you said, I know her personally. I met her on Instagram. Yeah. I mean, I probably meant I knew of them in person. I don't actually know them or talk to them or nothing like that. Okay. What about people or families you were associated with? A family you knew and thought their younger daughter was hot or something? No. Did you ever do anything? No. Yeah, someone say a couple people in the girl's family as you know yourself, and then some persona or some alternate account you had, if you would try talking to the daughter of a family that you knew or something like that. I have no clue. I don't know the daughter of a family. Yeah. So say there's a family that you knew. Was there anyone that you targeted or stuck out to you? You were seeking out their daughter specifically? No, no, no. Seeking out and targeting? No, 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 no. When they were underage? No, no, no. I don't think so. I'm going to tell you. No, my girlfriend now is, I mean, it's kind of how I know her. I know her family stuff. What's your girlfriend's name? Allie. You said you knew her family or her brother, right? Yeah. Remember the Conklins. How old is Allie now? 19. Okay, 20, 26, 26. And just like that, I would never hang out with her sister. She was 17 when me and her like first started talking, and she had a month until she was 18, and I never would hang out with her until she was 18 or till she turned 18. Just because of like past like I'm not, not what I mean, but you still talk to her. Well, not even like that. It was all friendly. So, I mean, what made her different than the 15 and 16-year-old girls you admitted talking to and trading sexual images with? Well, I wouldn't send sexual images and stuff. But what made her different? Because I knew her. You know what I mean? It was more of like, I don't know, more of like not on the phone type thing. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like, I don't know. I mean, she was 17. Sexing and trading images, in your own words, when they, what would happen if a girl told you she was under 16? You said I'd still talk to him. And when they said, how many girls do you think you would have exchanged nude images with? Over 200. Over 200. How many videos of girls do you have masturbating over 25? Over 25 videos of girls masturbating. How many of those girls were underage? All of them. All of them. Okay. We'll skip ahead some. What if like a 15-year-old told you she was 15? Why would you keep talking to her? A random person. I don't know. Probably she's not a real person, if that makes sense. She's just a person on the phone. So you get off on manipulating? Inaudible. And the whole Emily Ann, why Emily Ann? I don't know. It's just a random name. This Emily account, something like Emily in class or something? Or is it something made up? Yeah, there's a couple. Emily, Emma. It's always something like that. Yeah. But like, why? Like, again, help me explain the thought process behind like, why a girl? Why did you portray yourself as a girl? Probably because they would be, I don't know, they wouldn't feel as threatened to talk to a girl than a boy. You know what I mean? It's probably easier to get them to send you nudes. Probably, yeah. If they thought you were a girl, they thought you were a girl sending them to a guy then? Right. And if you were maintaining these relationships, like there was a few where I mean, like it was a boyfriend and girlfriend type things. I mean, did you feel like, an actual love? No. There were a lot of them, and a lot of them you said you helped through a lot of tough times, like depression and everything that you were going through. I'm sorry, helped you through a lot of times, like depression and everything. I mean, there was a love use exchange. Yeah, and that was just to get what I wanted. You know what I mean? That was your end goal, to get nudes when you started contacting, to get naked pictures from them. Okay, and then obviously you told the polygrapher that you would masturbate to those images. Yeah. You were sexually aroused. Yeah. To those images. Yeah. For age wise, like 13. 13. Yeah. How old is Abby and Libby? And what about a 13-year-old made it different than a 12-year-old for you sexually? Probably the age of just being a teenager, probably. So the specific searches on your phone from your phone, like the 12-year-old girls, the 13-year-old girls, that was you. I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm sure I looked stuff up. 12-year-old girl stomach, like 12-year-old gangbang, stuff like that. Those searches. I don't ever remember searching that, but yeah, I mean, probably that was me. Yeah. I mean, I think you have a thing for like girls' stomachs. So it was like searches like that, just browsing. I don't remember searching any of that stuff. It was probably Internet Explorer or something. Now, how many, I mean, would you be able to find a lot? Back then, I don't even remember. Probably not a lot. Okay. So you said again, and I just really want to get this clarified. Dirk ended the relationship with you around 2018. You said that, right? Yeah. So when you had went to Vegas and had that new phone you found and your iPhone 5, you had some of those searches that would have been yours because no one else would have had access. Yeah, I'm guessing. Which again, we're in that age range you said you prefer. And it shows how bad it is because I don't even remember ever even searching when in Vegas. And how often would you probably commit a day when you were doing it? I have no clue. I mean, there were girls I would talk to. It was literally like you wake up in the morning, first thing you do is check your phone. Probably, I don't know. Last thing at night before going to bed, first thing when you get up. No, I don't think it was like that. When would you normally get up? I mean, I don't know. It was 3 years ago, probably 8 or 9, I guess. You said like 10:30. Sound about right? Yeah. So again, I mean, you got to help me understand this because we're past the dirt thing. The 2018, these are new devices that only you have access to. And the search history, I mean, I'm looking at is the same. So I think we can be safe to say that dirt didn't search those things. Yeah, I don't remember searching any of those though. But only you had access to the phones. And the iPhone 5 and the Samsung Galaxy, because again, we're past the dirt falling out. And your dad doesn't know your password. And it was just you and him. And I'm talking, these searches were in Vegas. Yeah, but when I was in Vegas on that vacation, I was friends with Dirt. You said your falling out was before that. No, my falling out was when we left Vegas and moved back to Indiana. Moved back in 2018. Okay, but he wasn't out there with you guys. It was just you and your dad. In 2017, when you went to Vegas, I thought it was 16, but yeah, no, he wasn't with us. Right. And I'm saying those searches, when you guys were out there in Vegas, I don't even remember searching anything. Who all went to Vegas? Like a big party where you guys were celebrating? No, just me and my dad. And you had that planned? We had it planned for almost a year before that. So, I mean, why don't you think we did one of his friends. Now listen, just like a friend we knew, he's actually a Peru Police Department. I think he was chief for a little while and back in the day. Again, we went with one of his friends, a friend we knew, actually a Peru Police Department. I think he was a chief for a little bit back in the day. What's his name? Well, what was his name? I don't know. I don't even know. That was my dad's friends. I'm not sure. And did you guys share a room in Vegas? Yeah. So when do you think you had the opportunity to make these searches? I probably would have, went to the bathroom or something, or maybe when he was sleeping or something. Okay, we're going to skip a bit. He says, they talk about going to Bunny Ranch. I'm not so interested in that. That's normal in Vegas. Talking about the prices is too expensive and all this, blah, blah, blah. He goes back. My dad's not really good with phones at all. Anything electronic. That's why I got to do all his Chrysler stuff. Again, he's signing into his dad's email. He's signing in using his dad's email accounts, etc., etc. Okay. Ugh. Now, I'm going to skip some things. So again, Keegan, I'm just trying to understand all this stuff and add it up because I'm going to be honest with you, it doesn't. Giving a friend full access to your phone, but not your dad. I mean, just listen. You know, you're being weird it out by showing your dad a picture of a hot girl, but you're negotiating prices to hook up to get a blowjob. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, I'm not going to show my dad a picture of a 16-year-old girl and be, hey, look at this girl. Well, you said even 18. Well, I wouldn't. I mean, I didn't really talk to a lot of 18-year-olds. So, I mean, this wasn't really getting nudes from, girls like that because I technically had a girlfriend. That's why I would never want to hang out with any one person. I already had a girlfriend. If I wanted to have sex with someone, I just have sex with her. Brianna, Brianna, Brianna. I mean, you said it wasn't a serious relationship. It wasn't, but I mean, we had sex a lot. So you did have a sexual relationship. Yeah. How old was Brianna at the time? She's my age. So she might be 25 now. I don't know. 25 and you had no other contact with her since then? Not really. I don't even think she moved. I think she moved to like Wyoming or something. How do you know that? Facebook. Gotcha. But I mean, I think we're at the point, with all this information on your phone, on multiple phones, your own admission that you were talking to girls underage. And I mean, not talking to one or two images. I mean, you knew stuff was on your phone, right? Yeah, I knew I talked to those girls a lot on Kick and stuff. I mean, I don't think I ever deleted any messages on there. Well, you deleted the whole apps and stuff, like, so that way they couldn't hold it against you. So, I mean, why lie? You lied in the beginning to them. You didn't make any fraudulent accounts. You didn't talk to underage girls. I mean, knowing they had your phones, why lie? I don't know. The anxiety and freaking out about everything just made maybe if I lied, I'd get away with it or something, probably something like that. I mean, I hope that's not your thought process today. No, because obviously today's completely different. What concerns me is I expect you to be honest. I want to be honest with you. This whole dirt thing just doesn't make sense to me. The whole dad thing doesn't make sense to me because I'd feel my other parent, family member, they would have way more trust for a random friend than would do that. And so honestly, I mean, I do not think you've been 100% honest about this. And I think there's other stuff you haven't been honest about and something we do need to talk about because, again, it's been a very long process and a very detailed fine-tooth comb process to go through all these phones, through every chat. I mean, you talked to some people and it's been very tedious. And when we find these things, they have to be clarified because your names are on these phones. Your PIN, there's one's a pin and a swipe, and it's all you. You had a swipe and a pin back up in the backup on one phone, a Samsung or something. So yeah, like I said, things we need to clarify. We need to clarify. And just as in the child pornography and the solicitation and exploitation, you weren't honest, like you said. I mean, you were just nervous with the anxiety of getting caught, and with the Delphi investigation. We found things that you weren't honest about either. Listen to that, y'all. Page 125, okay? Page 125, line 11. The Delphi investigation, we found things you weren't honest about either. And I'm going to go into that because we need to discuss it. You told investigators, and I know you say you don't remember a girl you ever talked to, but I know you remember Liberty German. And you talked to her and you admitted talking to her. I don't think I ever did, though. I think I talked to one of her friends. You admitted you talked to her for a few hours at a sleepover. And then you blocked her because she was annoying. Remember that? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So again, in going through with a fine-tooth comb, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. And I think you wanted to be truthful, and it was hard because you were scared. I mean, it's a double homicide investigation. But here's where you have to be honest about it, because now we have all the information. And I'm telling you right now, you can't say you don't remember, but I'm telling you for a fact, you did not just talk to them during the sleepover. Okay, I'm telling you that for a fact. You said, I didn't exchange any pictures with them. You said, I didn't exchange any pictures with them. I'm telling you for a fact you did, because the Anthony Shots persona, that fake account that you admitted to making, communicated with Liberty German on Snapchat, on Instagram. And like I said, not just for a couple of hours. So we need to revisit that. We need to clarify that, because right now we have that, and we can officially go with is you saying that, but we know for a fact it was a lie. Okay, we know for a fact, we know that right now because we have the data. You know, again, I made the comment in the beginning, Snapchat thinks that it deletes, but it doesn't. Okay, so when you think, how did you meet Liberty German? You didn't meet in person. How did you? I don't know. I literally don't. I don't know. Had to be on Instagram or something. Okay. It was on Instagram. Again, you can't tell me you don't know, because you have to know, because this needs to be clear, and this can't be something that's left. Okay? Because we know through the records. She added you on Instagram. When was that, you say? I literally have no clue. I don't remember talking to her really. I don't even know who she really was until after I saw the news, and I was like, oh, wow, that name. I remember that name. Okay. And I mean, again, that's a lie too, because we know for a fact that when you were in Vegas, that on your devices, you were searching about the Delphi investigation. Remember, he was in Vegas 4 months after the girls were killed. So Vito continues. So it's a news article you looked at on Safari. Tips pour in after the suspect identified in the Delphi double homicide. New details in Delphi killings to be released. Audio clip. You remember that audio clip? Right. How many times would you say you listened to it? I don't know. Probably a few. I'm not sure. As in like one or two? I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to hear the guy's voice to see what he said. I don't know. Probably 5 or 6. I don't know. 6? It really wasn't that long. 6 times. Right. Another article, information sought, investigation into the deaths of Liberty German and Abigail Williams. It was a lot. And you saying that it was a party weekend, nothing but fun, that's not what your phone says. It's not what your search history says. Not just people dying, but a person you literally talked to. When you say you realize that it was Liberty German, the girl you were talking to was killed, when would you say that was? I don't know. Probably a little bit after it happening. I mean, probably after it happened, like I saw her face and her name. Okay, but then you told investigators you had never talked to anybody. I don't remember talking to her. I don't remember her being there, like with her friend. I don't remember ever talking to her. That's not what you said. Keegan, I don't know. I'm not here to argue with you, okay? I'm not here to lie to you either. But I'm telling you, what you told investigators was that you had talked to her the night of the sleepover. Well, this is 3 years ago. I don't remember. Okay. That was the most traumatic experience of my life, he says. Why would he say that? Why would learning that Abigail Williams and Liberty German were murdered, why would that be the most traumatic experience of his life? So 2 weeks after it happened, he's searching and failing he's failing the polygraph. Why did you tell them that you only talked to her one night? because that's probably all I remembered. I mean, I talked to hundreds of people. I don't remember talking to one girl. Just one girl that got killed. Why wouldn't you remember that? Then why care what happened? You said, I mean, it was so important because one of the girls got killed you talked to, including the day of. The day of. I mean, it's two little kids getting killed in a town right by me, and that person's out there somewhere. And he killed, and people talk to him. What do you mean? That doesn't mean I killed him. That doesn't mean I killed him. Who said you killed him, Keegan? Okay, I'm going to skip. Talks about Keegan pretending to have a Ferrari. So Keegan Klein was not talking to Liberty German. Anthony Schatz was, right? Yeah. Okay, Anthony Schatz was. So Anthony Schatz, so when you were asking, when they were asking, did you send her images? You said no because you didn't, but Anthony Schatz did? No, because I don't remember sending anything. Well, I'm telling you, here's 3 off the bat. Here's another one. Here's a couple more, actually. And here's one sent specifically to her. Is it bad that I'm super into you? Okay, listen. What did Keegan send to Libby? Is it bad that I'm super into you? You said on camera and audio recorded, you said, I did not send Liberty German any pictures. Right. I don't ever remember doing that. Well, I'm telling you right now, you did. So that's a fact. That's a fact. And Keegan says, you're trying to catch me in a lie because you keep asking the same questions. You're trying to catch me in a lie. I don't remember, okay? I'm telling you, you may not remember it, but it happened. And this is a fact. Just like talking to Liberty German is a fact. Okay? So Anthony Schatz communicated with Liberty German, and it's a fact that it wasn't just for a few hours at a sleepover. In your own admission, that you said in an interview, it is a fact on audio recorded and video recorded interview, you said, we never sent any pictures. And in the very next couple sentences, you said, well, I knew they were at a sleepover because they sent pictures to me. She didn't, her friend did. Right. So you knew that they were there. And I mean, you had said that she had sent you a picture. And again, it's a fact. So that means Kyla Brummett sent a picture of Abby and Libby at the sleepover to Keegan Klein. Why have we never seen that picture? Why have we never seen the picture that Kyla Brummett sent from the sleepover of Abby and Libby to Keegan Klein through Anthony Schatz? Again, it's a fact that you're communicating to her multiple days at a time, just like the other girls you were talking to, including up to the day that she went missing, right before. And what I want you to know is you would communicate with her on the iPhone 5 was your primary device, right? That's a fact. What other devices would you communicate with her on? I don't know. I have no clue. Da, 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 da. What other devices would you communicate with anybody else on at that time? Well, on February 13th, this would have been logged in a little bit earlier. So that would have been 8 o'clock in the morning at your house, 67 Canal Street, Peru, Indiana, where you and your dad live. 2 separate devices. See the numbers here, how they're the same? Log in, log out, log in, log out. One device, log in, log out, all within minutes of each other to the same Anthony Schatz Snapchat account. What 2 devices were these? This is a fact. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know. Had to be a Samsung Galaxy or something. Why would you ever be logging in and out of these devices? Makes no sense. Talking, having my Snapchat, my actual Snapchat open at the same time. This is the exact same snap. This is the Anthony Shots account. Two different devices. Mine and then another, using another phone at the same time, talking. How you know what I mean? Yeah, but why would you do that? I mean, to talk to my girls. But it's the same account. The same account. You're using two different phones. No, but what I'm saying is I logged out of this and logged into my other phone, which was which was the other phone. I'm saying it has to be the Galaxy. Which one? There's a Samsung Galaxy SI or something. I don't know. It was white. I'm not sure. It had like a cracked screen real bad because I sat on it. Okay, another fact. You said I did not talk to anyone about them missing, about them girls being missing. Right. Okay, Snapchat return. You had talked to one of her friends who had said to you, they were talking to you. Remember? She said, "Did you hear about Liberty?" You respond on Anthony Shots, "OMG, what happened?" That's talking to someone about two girls that were missing and would wound up dead. Okay, same person or the little girl you were talking to says Anthony Shots was meeting up with Liberty German. Anthony Shots was, the girl said Anthony Shots was meeting up with Liberty German. The facts. That's a total effing lie. A total lie. That's a total lie. Same conversation of the OMG, what happened? Anthony Schott says, "Yeah, we were supposed to meet up, but she never showed up." That's a fucking lie. That's a damn lie. So, how do you, no, hang on. Because you don't know a lot of things about all this stuff, but all of a sudden, you know for 100% fact, because I didn't fucking murder someone. So, yeah, I know. I know for a fucking fact. I don't know about anything what happened. Okay, have I one time said you murdered? You're implying. Okay. Listen to me. I can honestly sit here and I'm telling you, I do not believe that you killed Liberty or Abigail. And that's how he's bringing it down, okay? That doesn't mean he really believes it. This means he's de-escalating the conversation to get Kagan to open the door a little more. You understand? Who's William Brummett? I went to school with him. I was friends with his sister, Kalena Brummett. Did you date her? No, I was really good friends with her. Okay, what about Melissa Brummett? Who's that? Her mom, well, her stepmom. Okay, who's Kalena's? Yeah. Who's Jessica Brummett? I mean, I'm guessing someone, maybe her cousin. Okay, what about Alexis Brummett, her little sister? Who's William and Kalena's? Okay, William and Kalena. So that's brother and sister. Yeah, I think they were by half. Okay, so who's Kyla Brummett? Who? Kyla Brummett. I don't know. If you went to school with William Brummett, yeah, he's grades lower than me, but yeah, I think he's even like a grade or two lower than me. So what's your connection with that entire family? I used to stay with them a lot. Okay, this is something we forget in all this complexity of this case. He used to stay with Kyla Brummett's family a lot. When I was in Galveston, when they lived in Galveston, stayed with the family, the Brummetts. Kalena was like one of my really, really good friends in sixth, fifth, sixth, seventh grade. So a person associated with that family directly associated with the family was talking to Anthony Schatz. Probably Alexis, had to be, and was looking to hook up with Anthony Schatz. So she gives an address to Anthony Schatz because she's coming home after school and wants to hook up because parents are not home after school for a couple of hours. Who's that, Alexis? Someone associated with the Brummett family. The girl associated with this Brummett family gets off the school bus, and there's a guy with a ski mask peering in her bedroom window. So you're trying to say that's me or something? No, I'm just saying there's another coincidence that we have a girl talking to the Anthony Schatz account. Then she gives an address to Anthony Schatz because she wants to hook up with him. And then she did, in fact, there was actually a police report filed when it happened. She comes home from school, sees this guy in a ski mask looking in her bedroom window directly after giving this address to Anthony Schatz. As a matter of fact, the incident started when everything else that started everything else last time. That's how everything else started. And on top of that, you searched about the Brummetts on February 19th. No, that's not 2 days. That's 5 days after the murders, he searches about the Brummetts. The day before that happened, your phone shows that you searched the Brummett family. Your phone searched the Brummett family. I see what you're trying to put together, but I swear to God, I was not looking in someone's fucking window. I was never in a ski mask looking in her fucking house. I know them. I could literally call Mike, her dad, right now and go over there. But they don't know you're Anthony Schatz. Exactly. But I'm saying if I wanted to get her or whatever, I would just fucking go over there. But she wouldn't give it to Keegan Kline, but she would give it to Anthony Schatz. She would, though. She would. She told me that she liked me before. That's the whole reason why I would try to talk to her, because I knew she liked me. That doesn't mean I'm in a ski mask at her fucking house. So what were you so concerned about when you were in Vegas? Let's go even before you were in Vegas, about someone connected to Liberty German. Because I talked to her on the phone. I mean, you said yourself you can talk to a friend of someone. But if someone got murdered, I would tell them, anyone that I've ever come into contact with recently, you know what I mean? Yeah, but it went more than that, Keegan. You were very concerned. I mean, the search is in your phone, and I'm concerned. What do you mean someone gets killed around us? I'm concerned. Do you know that when you gave your polygraph, you said Liberty, like, what's her name? I don't remember her name. And then after that, you spent all that time reading over it. I mean, there's no way you didn't know what her name was. And you sitting there, that Liberty, whatever her name is, in your polygraph, and before the polygraph, I mean, you're looking up articles about it. I mean, even before you went to Vegas, and you guys are around, foul play suspected. I think it makes sense for us to question you about looking that up when you're one of the last people to ever spoke to her before she wound up dead. Or excuse me, Anthony Schatz was one of the last. Anthony Schatz' account is one of the last people to speak to Liberty German before she winds up dead. And then you said that it could be because a friend of a friend says, well, hey, I talked to such and such and they're friends, but you're searching about can law enforcement trace IP addresses? So Keegan's searching, can law enforcement trace IP addresses from social media? And then he searches Jean-Benet Ramsey, O.J. Simpson. Why? Those cases are unsolved. What do you mean? How do you know this case was going to be unsolved? Because this was a few days. Because they put out pictures of him. They try to put out pictures of him in the bridge and a voice. someone murdered someone and they have a picture of him or voice, I'm going to look to see if I know that person. Like, what do you mean? The guys on there telling everyone, the state guy or police department guy, state police department guys, they're telling everyone, if you know anyone that looks like this, call. What we want to know is who had access to the Anthony Shots account on 2 different devices. So if you're the sole owner of that account, the only one who had access to it, so you were the one that sent the pictures to her. I mean, on that day, it just looks like no one, like one logging on one of the phones. I was logged on the phone. I logged out. I logged on the phone. That's what that looks like. You talked to her before at the sleepover. You're the one that talked to her all that weekend. All that weekend, Keegan, Anthony Shots account, was talking to her. One of the last people to talk to her before she's murdered. Trying to get nude images from Liberty. This is one of the biggest cases in Indiana, hands down. The media attention, I mean, there's been no stone left unturned in this investigation. And the only thing, of all the investigators, of all the hours put into this, and you think of yourself, you're a juror, you know yourself in this scenario, and you're just listening to the evidence. You have a guy in small town USA. So you know if you're from a small town, you know, your dad's Facebook friends with some of Abby's mother's friends, right? So this is the kind of stuff you would expect to see in small town USA. Your girlfriend, your current girlfriend, is friends on Facebook with one of Liberty's ex-boyfriends, small town USA. So there's still stuff that you know that maybe if we were like in Chicago or something, you'd look at it and say, oh, okay, that's right. So, okay. So you take that, for example. Then small town USA, you know the Brummets. They're at a sleepover at the Brummet residence. And that's, you know, the whole thing with Liberty. When she's speaking with Anthony Shots, they were at the Brummets. And here we are. They're at the Brummets and the Brummets family. And the family that Keegan Klein knows, Anthony Schott knows. And we're worried about grooming. And we have a guy that has troves of child pornography on his devices. We have Liberty being groomed. Liberty being groomed. And unfortunately, she was completely enthralled with Anthony Shots. Completely. Like though, you know, I'm talking about this guy, rich, hot guy. You know, she is completely in love with Anthony Shots, right? So this account that you set up, you know, and I'm sure you've seen on social media, had something like, you know, waiting for Peter Pan to come. And it was like almost little hanging fruit statement for someone that would target girls. And you probably see that and think it's going to be an easy target. What more of a targeting thing, right? Like more maybe you didn't go into that depth. I don't know how much depth you went into looking for girls you wanted to get nude images from as Anthony Shots, or just like a butt shot method and see who comes back. But regardless, she bought the story. She bought the account. And so we have a friend saying that she knew she was trying to meet up with Anthony Shots. See, I don't remember ever saying to meet up to him, but I'm telling you, this is what we have. We have multiple devices logging in from your house on Canal Street from a Snapchat account within minutes of one another. We have the day that you gave your polygraph in your interview, you were steadfast in, I met them in the beginning of February, like the 1st or 2nd. You were steadfast. You never came off that. I never spoke to her beyond February 1st or 2nd. And the guy says, look, we know you spoke to her the day she was murdered. You said, absolutely not. I blocked her. She was annoying me after the 1st or 2nd night. We have these images. You saying that's not you. What you asked, or that's a nude. What are you for? We have these grooming pictures. We have the money, the Anthony Shots money account going to her, right? So this starts to stack after a while. I mean, small town USA, independent of each other, but it starts to stack. We have the Kick Messenger, the messages with all these daddy references. Regardless of what you say, there are 2 different authors of these messages. Regardless of what you say, they're not both you. They're both your devices, but they're mixed. The phrasings are different. It changes. It's not the same person. So we know we have multiple accounts logging in with Snapchat, two different people using Kick Messenger, talking to people from your residence. I mean, all that's 100% sure. We know it. We know it for a fact. So remove yourself from it, from all the bullshit, and trying to pick out every individual piece, and it starts to stack. It just keeps stacking. The phone, your phone, you had all your search history was deleted. All Keegan's search history is deleted from February 10th to February 15th. Nothing in between. So now what's interesting about all this is that all these other phones have complete histories. Nothing's gone. So during the time frame where this grooming would have been built up to the meeting, it's all gone. It's wiped away from your phone. But your other devices are complete. So now it all starts to stack. The complexity of your Anthony Shots persona, the cars, the influence of Lamborghinis, Ferraris. It's not your idea. You and I both know it's not your idea. What do you mean? It's not my idea to take pictures of money and stuff and send them to people. The complexity of it, okay? It's just not you. It's not just you. When you're searching nonstop about Delphi, when you're supposed to be on vacation in Vegas and you're still actually sending Snapchats to Liberty, when you know she's dead. Now, see, that's another thing you guys might have forgotten about in this transcript. He knows she's dead. Absolutely no doubt he knows she's dead. But he continues sending Snapchats to her, knowing he's dead, knowing she's dead. I don't even remember doing that. Let me ask you, why would you, after you failed a polygraph about knowing about the Delphi investigation, come home, delete your Snapchat and your Instagram, which you used to communicate with Libby, and then you search, how long does DNA last? Why would you do that? I have no clue, but I don't know, probably because they DNA tested me. So obviously they have DNA on that body, because why else would they DNA test me? So why would you worry about your DNA being on the body? I wouldn't. Then why'd search? It's just a common thing to freak out about. Like, you know what I mean? No, I don't. Why would you care how long DNA lasts? What if it lasts 100 years? Why would it matter to you if it was on a body? Then it would, if it was on the body, then it would matter, right? But you knew 110% your DNA wouldn't be there, right? So why does it matter how long it lasts? Because I worried if the person's DNA had DNA on their body, if they actually knew who the person was. That doesn't make sense. Okay. And again, we go into something else that stacks on top of this, is when you talk to investigators. I mean, this is fresh in your mind. You just got back from Vegas. You're being nonstop searching stuff. You've been talking about it with other girls that knew Libby. You've been searching for it before you went to Vegas. And then you tell investigators, I was with my dad all day. We went to my grandpa's and grandma's at noon. No, I didn't tell them that. Well, I'm refreshing your memory. For a fact, video recorded on your interview, you told them a few days after this happened, you knew you were with your dad all day. You went to your grandparents. From your interview, you said you either 12 to 2 or 12 to 3, which is the exact time frame of this incident, right? 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Oh, how convenient. From 12 to 3 or 12 to 2, he's at his grandparents'. Your phone does not line up to that. And again, that's another fact. Where was my phone? Please tell me. It was at your residence. Until when? Until you went somewhere near your grandparents' house, but you did not go to your grandparents. Dirk Hayes? That's the only other place I go. He sold me weed. That's literally the only place I go. So why lie? I don't think I ever lied, but I'm saying if I left my house that day, it was to my grandparents or Dirk's. You said in an interview, audio recorded on 2 different law enforcement officers, including an FBI agent, you said, I was here at home from this time to that time. Then I went to my grandparents, and then we went right back home. And I was with my dad the entire time. That's a fact because you said it, and that's what you said. But now you're telling me you're probably at home. Club Road. Whose house is that? Club Road. I have no clue. That's where my grandma lives. I mean, my grandma lives on, but Pawpaw, Pawpaw Pike. Yeah, right. I wasn't there. Club Road and Pawpaw Pike meet. I understand, but you connected to a Wi-Fi source that was in that house. Country Club Road and Pawpaw Pike. Take note, guys. Country Club Road and Pawpaw Pike. You connected to a Wi-Fi source in that house. No, I didn't. I'm telling you 1000%. I didn't go anywhere besides Dirk's and my grandma's. So why did you tell investigators that you went there when you didn't? Because I was like, well, where do you ever go? That's the only places I go. Okay. Who is Kyle Titus? A friend I went to school with. Well, he's like one of your best friends as well, is he not? I mean, a good friend. Well, how come when you rattled off your friends you'd known previously, you omitted Kyle Titus? Why would I? Well, he's pretty much like seeming like one of your best friends, if not your best friend. Well, I mean, he's a good friend of mine. So you gave them a list of your friends twice when they interviewed you previously, and you completely omitted Kyle Titus. You didn't even mention him. And even today, you still haven't mentioned Kyle Titus. And you even asked me when I asked you. Because there's a reason. Why don't you look up Kyle Titus, Indiana? Look that up. No, tell me why. I don't have an idea. Because he's a big-time drug dealer. I didn't want my name associated with someone that sells pounds of weed, and I didn't want that. I didn't want to say that, and that the Peru Police Department be like, okay, well, he messes with someone that, sells large amounts of weed, so let's arrest him. But you just said Dirk sells weed, and you're fine associating with him. Why'd you blow him off in Vegas? Kyle? Because I couldn't get the weed or nothing. I couldn't get anything he wanted, and I looked for it out there. And I'm sure you looked at my phone when I met that guy, right? I'm sure you know about me meeting some guy in Vegas. I think the thing I'm concerned about over a guy that you're meeting, what I'm more concerned about of that is, boy, did we just give you something from 2017 that you were able to remember like that? Because I know Kyle Titus is my best friend. But yet you know nothing about a girl murdered? Yeah, because I don't spend the years of my life with the person who got murdered. I know Kyle. Like, that is my good friend. I know stuff about him. What do you mean? When you just told us you didn't want to associate with him. I didn't want to tell them the name. What do you mean I didn't want to be like, yeah, I know Kyle Titus. Okay. They would have just said, okay, Kyle Titus. No, you can put wheels in motion. I mean, it's not hard to find out who he is, and he's been arrested for all this stuff, and you know what I mean? And Dirk's never been arrested? Well, I don't think so, no. Not that I know of. And he went into the military. What do you mean when you said all of this was pointing towards Dirk? Like, how do you see I'm on someone's country or county, whatever you said, country club road, Wi-Fi? I've never been to anyone's house on country club road ever. I don't even know where that's at. I just know that these roads meet or something like with Pawpaw Pike. I literally have no clue. Like, I don't know anyone. I don't know anything about that whole case. Yeah, it looks terrible, but I promise you, like, I know these guys are looking for that person. It's not me. I know absolutely nothing. Get the whole Brummett thing is like weird, but I swear I don't know anything. Yes, you do, man. I just can't wrap my head around why you're willing to put all this on you, why you're protecting somebody else. Do you know who killed those girls? No. Hang on, I'm not literally asking you right now. Do you know for sure who killed those girls? No. Yeah, I'm sorry. You did say both times in your polygraph, and I guess that was deception. Oh, a lot of people fail those lie detectors. What are you talking about? Why do you think they can't use those in court? But those people that fail for other cases, for whatever you're referencing, weren't talking to victims the day of a crime. They weren't grooming them. They weren't sending pictures to the victim. Didn't say, hey, is it bad that I'm super into you? I just don't understand why you're protecting the person. I mean, was it as simple as she just said, hey, I'm going to be at the High Bridge and you told somebody? I literally have no clue what you're talking about. But yeah, you remember 110% you had a conversation with the guy in Vegas on February 23rd. We had this case a while back, and this freaking little kid was in the bathroom and overflowed the toilet. So he yells for help, and the dad gets pissed off, comes at the kid. Mom intervenes. The dad punches the mother. She runs away. He chases her down. He hits her, bites her in the stomach, runs back inside, slams the kid's head in the toilet, fractures his orbital socket, puts him upside down, and starts dunking his head in the toilet that was overflowed. Now, what do you think about that guy? He should be hung. He should be killed. So that guy should be killed? Yeah, 1000%. What do you think that person is capable of? What do you think that person would be capable of? He didn't kill the kid lived. Oh shit, well, I mean, obviously he tried to kill his kid, whether he lived or not. I think he should either die either way because he obviously attempted to murder the kid. Kagan, listen to me. It's hard for me to listen. It's not just only people, but I will sit here and I will say to you, I'm truly hearing you say, it is familiar because you said the same thing to investigators when you talked about this before. And I'm not talking about the Delphi stuff. I'm talking about the child porn and child solicitation. You talked to underage girls. You said the same thing to them before you admitted it. So that's why it's hard for me to believe that, because I hear what you're saying and you're saying the same thing when I know for a fact that you're lying, because then eventually you told the truth. That's why it's hard to believe that. And then, like Deputy Clinton said, you have this whole stack. I mean, you can argue like the small town thing again, absolutely. You can argue you're a concerned citizen. This happened in your backyard close. You can argue that for sure. But when you throw in that you literally talked to her right before she was killed, that you tell investigators you only talked to her once and you blocked her, you get what I'm saying? I feel you feel somewhat responsible for them dying. I'm skipping a few pages. Okay. So then he says, I can't even remember a time I've ever been to Delphi. Right before she died, we have witnesses statements that talked to Anthony Schatz that said they were talking about meeting up, even to the point so far that she said Anthony Schatz told her when they said, "Oh my God, what happened?" Hey, I was supposed to meet her, but they didn't show up. That's evidence. And the only person right now that you're telling me had access to the Anthony Schatz account was you. And the only person who used your phone for Anthony Schatz account was you. I didn't say that you killed those two people, but you sure didn't tell her then that you were supposed to meet her and she didn't show up though, because that's evidence. That's true fact evidence. Okay. So let's just focus on that one minute detail. That conversation happened. That went back and forth. And again, I'll refresh your mind where the girl contacted Anthony Schatz and said, "Did you hear what happened to Liberty?" And Anthony Schatz responded, "OMG, what happened?" And then she goes and tells him what happened. And Anthony Schatz says, "Well, I was supposed to meet that girl, but she never showed up." So let's focus on that one conversation of evidence we know is true. And it doesn't matter if you remember or not. But who then would have access? Who would have said that then if it wasn't you who supposedly is the only one who had access? Why would you say I was going to meet her, but she never showed up? Why would you say that? I don't know. I don't know. Why would you say, as Anthony Schatz, I was going to meet that girl and she didn't show up? You know, even before we have witness statements that Liberty was looking to meet Anthony Schatz, again, there's another piece where we're making this even bigger now. Now we have multiple people saying that. Why would Anthony Schatz do that? And he lies and lies and lies. And I'm going to skip over a bunch of that because I'm exhausted. My throat's hurting. But they basically keep going back and forth about it. Okay. So this needs to be cleared up. We go back to the whole thing. You talk to a lot of girls, but unfortunately, one of the girls was killed. That's why it needs to be cleared up. And that's why you searched. Can you trace IP addresses from social media? That's why you listened to the audio clip. That's why you did server search information to see how much information gets stored on servers, because you were thinking about it, especially on a vacation. You're supposed to have fun. You're supposed to be in Vegas having fun. And right after, I'm talking minutes, that you are searching, police continue to pursue leads in Delphi Girls murder. The girls are missing after posting Snapchat messages article. I mean, all that girls missing after posting Snapchat messages and article you search. Can you trace IP addresses from social media? So you were thinking about the Delphi investigation. A few minutes later, you start searching about internet servers. So you're randomly reading all these articles about Delphi. But see, you're picking and choosing things to remember. And the woman that interviewed with you was very motherly. You remember that she was very motherly? You remember that she told you need to stop and you need to remember you told her you have a problem. So you remember all these things, but then you just sit here and tell me, "Well, I don't remember any of that." All right. So I'm skipping ahead quite a bit, but all of this is available for you to peruse for yourselves, okay? Just a moment. Excuse me. All right, guys. That is my show. Delphi. The devil knows. Keegan Klein knows. And Satan himself knows. And half of Delphi knows. And it's time for this story to come to the surface. And I truly do believe that what you've just heard is the nexus that would solve this case, not only for Abby and Libby, but for the entire quote unquote major child pornography ring in Indiana that Keegan Klein's Dropbox opened up into. And I would really love for you all to listen to this on replay with a notepad. Every time I said take note, take note. It's very important, okay? We are extremely distracted by all of the noise, all of the bullshit, all of the chaos, all of the distractions that have been thrown at you for 8 years now. Almost said 10. It feels like a decade. Okay? This is serious. I guarantee you, this should have kicked off a major investigation. Question: did it? Will it? Shouldn't it? When will it? I really hope that this stream might come in to the attention of someone important, someone who can do something about it, someone who can follow these leads, someone who can look into this and see if this has been pursued and still is being pursued. This is important. And there's more to come on this. But thankfully, by rushing through it, I was able to get through that. Remember, it's a 200-page document. So thankfully, we were able to get through it. That's a large list of names. That's a large list of locations. And that's a large list of facts that are extremely pertinent to this case. And I think we need to not forget it. This is something to remember. So I want to thank all of you for being here. I'm going to see what we have here. I may have missed some super chats. Thank you for the super chats. I truly do appreciate it. Look, Rebecca Ann, Oleg Cat, Becky33, Granny D. Okay, thank you for the super chats. Everyone listening, if you do listen, please support the channel whatever ways you'd like to. Be aware that on Thursday nights we do live streams on Twitch. You're welcome to come join me at Twitch. If you go to my link tree, you'll find the Twitch and everything else you need, or in the channel description, whatever it needs to be. You see my Cash App here and buy me a coffee scrolling below. Please do support the channel. I'm trying to do a Cash App fundraiser. I would love for you to show me some love, some support this week and this month. It's needed. I have some expenses to take care of that I'm trying to do so, that this channel has incurred for our protection. But anyhow, thank you all for being here. My voice is absolutely shot. We've been in here almost 4 hours, so I truly do appreciate you, and hope to see you really soon, probably Monday, okay? Anyway, I want to thank every single person in the chat. Absolutely. No kidding, okay? I'm not going to read your names. My voice is tired, but everyone in the chat, I love you so much. God bless you. Those of you on the replay, please leave some comments down below. I want to hear what you think about this. I want to hear the results of your research. I just gave you a lot. Please do some research. Let us know in the comments what you find. Anyway, I do believe that You may want to go over to Diana's if she's doing a show tonight. If you want to go hang out there for the after party, go check out Diana. If you need this document, you just ask me in my email and I will forward it right on to you free of charge. Okay. God bless you all. Love you. Hug your kids, hug your wife, and get some rest. It's the weekend. Try to enjoy it before the freezing temperatures descend upon us. Okay. Anyway, catch you later.
It was our job to help law enforcement.
Oh my God. I'm legally blind. Oh my God.
Prof is a fucking terrorist. A fucking pedophile, sympathizing fucking terrorist.
It was our job to help law enforcement.
Oh my God.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Oh my God. I'm legally blind.
Prof is a fucking terrorist.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Prof is a fucking terrorist.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Prof is a fucking terrorist.
It was our job to help law enforcement.
I'm legally blind.
Prof is a fucking terrorist.
Oh my God.
It was our job to help law enforcement. It was our job to help law enforcement. It was our job to help law enforcement.